It's another Woodland Hills Football Friday here in Westview, Pennsylvania, Martirelli Stadium, as the Woodland Hills Wolverines get set to take on the North Hills Indians. Hi, welcome tonight. Eric Shuley and Jim Shuley on the call for you from the Woodland Hills Football Network. We get set to kick off conference play here for the Wolverines as their captains are making their way out to the 50-yard line for the coin toss tonight. Last week, our Wolverines suffered a tough defeat against Penn Trafford at the Wolverina, 28-26. It was a 21-0 deficit at the half. The Wolverines fought all the way back, showed a lot of heart in that game, but unfortunately were unable to finish the comeback. A fumble on a spike attempt was a very, very unfortunate finish for the Wolverines as they got that defeat there. But on the other side, the North Hills Indians went on the road to Antamarino Stadium and beat the Gateway Gators 26-8. That also a non-conference game for North Hills, but gave them a lot of confidence coming into this game tonight against the Wolverines, as the Wolverines are going to look for some redemption after that tough loss to Penn Trafford. You know, another thing that happened early in the game, Jim, was Woodland Hills a bad snap on an extra point attempt, and then they went for two one time, were unable to make it. So just some fundamental mistakes there, you know, and then the spike. It was the first time possibly Cam Walter's been under center all season. A little bit of miscommunication there as they were rushing to get that spike attempt to stop the clock at around the 35-yard line, led to the Wolverines losing that game.
Yeah, it was really kind of a strange play. Eric stepped up behind center and just the ball came loose. I think some people didn't even know what was happening. It just happened so quickly, and then eventually he got the pointed this way for Penn Trafford, and that was, as you said, that was pretty much the end of the ball game at that point.
That's right. Time to move on for the Wolverines as we get set for tonight. They have to put that in their rearview mirror and move on to conference play, because now this is a must-win game going in to conference play, and you're thinking about the playoffs right now because it's tight when it comes to the playoff race in 5A. Only 8 teams make it, and the Wolverines want to be one of those 8, just like they want to be one of those 8, like they were last year. And it's key to get every victory in conference that you can. The North Hills Indians are getting set to kick off here. Daniel Dalton has the ball set, and we're ready to go here. Nico Andrews will get the kick at around the 19, takes it up over the right side. He's got room to run at 35. He's going to get brought down around the 44-yard line. We'll see the spot, but a nice job by Andrews, and I like the Wolverines putting Nico Andrews as one of the up men there, giving him a chance if the North Hills decided to kick it short, as Penn Trafford did last week.
Yeah, was able to find a little spot there, a seam, Eric, and was able to come up with a really nice run back. So Woodland Hills will start 1st and 10 at about the 44-yard line. I believe that was a deference by North Hills on the kickoff, correct? They chose to kick on the coin toss.
On the coin toss. Mm-hmm. Wolverines will start 1st and 10 from their own 44. Good starting field position. Cam Walter in the pistol. Elijah Nesby the back. Give up the middle to Nesby. Nice run on 1st down, about 5 or 6 yards. They will put him at the 50-yard line for a 6-yard run by Nesby. And another thing that we have to mention tonight, big loss for the Wolverines. Brandon Jones, the starting running back, went down with an injury last week. We're going to be without Brandon Jones for at least a few weeks, and that's a tough pill to swallow for the Wolverines, as he is a big part of the heart and soul of this team.
Good pickup on 1st, and they're right at midfield.
2nd and 4 for Woodland Hills. Walter, empty set. Brings Nesby in motion, gives him the ball in the jet sweep. Nice run over the right side. Nice little juke move there by Nesby, but ultimately tries to cut it out further outside and may have been better served just trying to get forward to get the 1st down, but still is able to get a positive gain there of about 3 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1 from about the 47-yard line.
I agree with you, Eric. He was able to make some yardage there. Could have made the 1st, but right there, the cutback gets him very close to the 1st down. They spot it at the 47-yard line into Indian territory.
Big 3rd down here. Indians stacking the box, ready for the run as the Wolverines come out in the power pistol. Walter with Nesby and Hill. Give goes to George Hill. Not much doing there. I'm not sure about this spot. I think the Wolverines are going to be short. I'd love to see them go for this here. You know, just kind of the classic call to go up the middle there. I think if the Wolverines go play action, it's risky, but I think they'd have had the Indians fooled.
Yeah, Yeah, not much there at all. No gain on that play, 4th and 1, and into Indians' side of the field. It's decision time for Brian Tarrant. He's going to go for it. I agree with your summation there too, Eric. I think let's keep the momentum going from last week.
Walter in the pistol. Walter with the keeper. Nice play call there, but he's not going to get it. He is not able to get the first down. It looked like he had plenty of room to run. Unfortunately, a nice tackle by the North Hills Indians brings them down short, and Woodland Hills unable to do anything on their opening drive. 4 run plays result in about 9 yards, 9.5 yards, and ball's going to get turned over to the Indians.
That was similar as the previous run, Eric. If he cuts inside, he had the opening, and I thought for sure Cam Walter would get the first down there, but
he had Ziggy Moore leading the way. If he follows right behind Moore, he may even have more yardage there, 10, 15 yards, but Walter decides to cut it out and cut it outside, and unfortunately, ball goes into the Indians' hands. Rough start for the Wolverines, 4 run plays. Don't decide to air it out at all like they did so successfully in the second half, but Indians get the ball, 1st and 10, ball at the 47. Shotgun formation, another missed tackle by Woodland Hills, but they bring him down still pretty quickly for about a loss of 1 on the play. Lanier Butler got in there so fast, kind of hopped on top of the Indians running back, was unable to bring him down, but Wolverines defense does a nice job to clean it up. As that was Julius Green, starting running back for the Indians on the run.
Yeah, he just freight trained that offensive line in to stop the runner for a loss of about a yard. Make it 2nd and 11.
Connor Davis now in the shotgun. Green to his right. Trips to his right. One receiver to his left. Davis takes the snap, fakes the give. Nowhere to go with the ball. Mijan Rhodes gets in there fast, and I think he may have been down. They're going to say incomplete pass, but that's a rough break for the Wolverines. If we have a replay on that, it looked like Davis may have been down when Mijan Rhodes stormed in there. It looked like his right ankle. It was very close indeed. I'm not sure if his ankle or if his knee was down. Yes, in fact, great job by our camera operators and our replay crew. Davis was indeed down far in the backfield, but they give him some grace there, as they say it's an incomplete pass. 3rd and 11, Wolverines jump offside. So 5 free yards go to the Indians. It'll be 3rd and 6 here. That's something the Wolverines did so well in the first game against Central Catholic. They did not have many, if any, pre-snap penalties, but it hurt them last week, and it's hurting them again tonight as you turn a 3rd and long into a much more manageable 3rd and 6 for North Hills. Davis in the shotgun. Fakes the give to Green. Trying to look deep, but has nothing there. Rolling out to his right, still getting tracked down by Wolverines this time. No doubt about that sack, as a couple Wolverines are in there. Zykir Moore was one of the Wolverines in on the sack for Woodland Hills, as well as Stephen Fulwiley.
He was hanging on to that ball kind of like a stuffed animal, Eric. That ball easily could have been knocked from his hand there. He had a very, very unsure grip on the ball, but we'll certainly take that big loss.
Indians in punt formation on a 4th and long. Scoop Smith back to return. Scoop is wearing 24 tonight. Flashback to his freshman year, as the number 1 jersey was not available. So Scoop calls a fair catch, brings it in at the 33. Decent starting field position for the Wolverines. They decided to go run on the first 4 play calls, and unfortunately, I don't think Scoop Smith was involved in any of those plays, so I hope to see Scoop get involved here in the offense as Woodland Hills has tried to establish the run there. They had a couple nice runs, but unfortunately, if you can't get a first down, it's hard to call your first drive any bit of a success.
You got to get him the ball at some point. The earlier, the better.
Walter again in the power pistol. Give goes to Nesby again. Off the left side, he's got room to run. Just taken down by a shoestring tackle by number 20 of the Indians. That is Dason Towler. First down, Woodland Hills.
And the first down for either team as Woodland Hills picks up a solid 10 yards on that run. Nesby cuts it back and picks up the needed yardage.
Ball at the 44, Woodland Hills back in the power pistol. Nesby and Hill are Walter's backs. Another give to Nesby right up the gut. Looked like maybe a face mask there, but it was incidental and pretty quick if it was. But Nesby's able to get 3 yards there up the middle. The 6th straight run play for Woodland Hills. Just really, I think that's a big point of emphasis for Woodland Hills this year. I think the coaching staff wants to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible, which if you have success with it, go by all means. But we saw Woodland Hills have so much success in the second half passing the ball against Penn Trafford, and Walter threw for 282 yards in the game, and the 85% of that came in the second half. Toss out to Nesby to the right, another run play. Not much doing there, maybe a yard or two. This will be a 3rd down and about 5 yards. Ball placed at the 49.
And nearest to us there, we got the Scoop has single coverage on the near side of the field.
As an Indian is down injured.
By the way, beautiful night here at Martorelli Stadium. Not a cloud in the sky, perfect temperature, low humidity.
Absolutely lovely night indeed for football here at Martorelli. One of the best stadiums in the Whitfield, that's for sure. Always love coming here, whether it's playing North Hills or for frequently used as a neutral site in the playoffs, and rightfully so, because it's just a wonderful venue, great facilities. North Hills is always so welcoming. We appreciate that.
And we were entertained by a large and very talented marching band here at North Hills. And Ken Resnick counted 184 members of the North Hills marching band, and they are really top-notch.
Extremely talented band, yes, indeed. So, the injured Indian makes his way off the field, and certainly hope he is all right. I believe that was Julius Green who was hobbling off there for North Hills. Under his own power, though, so he's all right and able to come out again. 3rd down and 5 for Woodland Hills. Another key 3rd down, and you've got to think they finally air it out here. Oh, into the neutral zone comes North Hills, and unless there was early movement by Woodland Hills, that should be a neutral zone infraction. Yes, indeed, and that should be a free 1st down for Woodland Hills, depending on the spot here. These are always a little hairy when you have these 3rd or 4th and 5 and somebody jumps in. It looks like it is indeed a 1st down. So Woodland Hills gets a big break there on a 3rd and 5 early in the game, moves the ball to the North Hills 46, 1st and 10.
Wouldn't it be nice to put it in the air right about here, Eric, on a 1st down and into Indians territory.
Bunch formation to Walter's right in the shotgun. Fakes the pitch, nowhere to go as Walter rolls out to his left. He's going to throw it away, and that could be intentional grounding. He was in the tackle box. There was nobody in the area. I don't see a flag on the play. Woodland Hills may have dodged a bullet. Unless I'm incorrect, I think that's intentional grounding.
Well, I didn't see any white shirts in the area, that's for sure. But
well, he may have been out of the tackle box, but I don't think he was. Just to the left of those hash marks. Unless there's a special rule in high school I'm unaware of.
Hey, we call them as we see them, right?
Woodland Hills, yes, indeed. Woodland Hills may have dodged a bullet there. Nonetheless, 2nd and 10 as that play was ineffective for the Wolverines. Bringing Scoop Smith in motion. Walter tries to keep it instead of going for the pitch to Scoop, and he still makes a nice run out of that. He's fighting forward for yardage up to the 40-yard line. Nice job by Cam Walter. You certainly don't want to see him get hurt. You love to see him use his legs, but he had an outlet there with Scoop Smith, and I tell you what, if he pitches that, I don't know if anybody's stopping Scoop.
No.
So here we are halfway through the 1st quarter, and Scoop hasn't touched the ball yet. However, I know that Woodland Hills trying to establish a bit of a running game here early on. Ball at the 40-yard line, another 3rd down. The North Hills secondary is glad to see Woodland Hills not put the ball in the air yet. 3rd down and 4 for Woodland Hills. And there's going to be a pre-snap penalty on Woodland Hills. They're going to back them up. It'll be 3rd and 9. Just some early movement there, miscommunication. This is a rough start for Woodland Hills tonight.
Yeah, a sloppy play on both ends.
Good starting field position twice for Woodland Hills, but they're on the edge of not being able to do anything with it twice. But 3rd and a long 9 here for the Wolverines.
3rd down.
an opportunity to get those receivers out in open space and let that offensive line give Walter some time and use those talented receivers. Walter in the shotgun. The Indians bring the blitz. They get through, and Walter's going to go down. You know, that's what happens. You have you have an obvious passing down. North Hills brings the pressure, and they take Walter right down. And instead of trying to work the pass in early on in downs, Wolverines opt to play it safe, play conservative, and comes back to bite them there, as Woodland Hills will have a 4th and long, and they'll have to punt. And this is not the kind of performance you want to have as you start conference play.
Oh, I thought we'd pick up the momentum that we had in the second half of PT, but not much going on out there for the Wolverines.
4th and 16. Mraz back for the punt. Gets the snap. Indians rush it fast, but Mraz does a nice job of getting it off. Not the best punt, but we'll see what it does on the bounce. Not a great bounce for the Wolverines, but could have been worse. Ball at the 30-yard line. That's where North Hills will start their drive here. So a slow start on both sides. The Wolverines offense playing it very safe, wanting to run the ball between the tackles for the most part, other than a couple toss plays or runs outside. They've decided to not air it out early, but it hasn't worked in their favor so far, but still very early in this game. As long as the Wolverines defense can do their job, should get the ball back in the Wolverines' hands.
This game has been played between the 30s, pretty much.
So the Indians come out 1st and 10, ball at their own 30. Connor Davis in the shotgun with Julius Green, who's back out there. Quick out. Drop pass. Didn't look like it was the greatest throw, but it probably should have been brought in by the Indians on the incompletion. The intended receiver there is Stephen Murphy.
Very short gain, if indeed he had held on, but nonetheless, it's 2nd and 10.
2nd down and 10.
Davis in the shotgun again with trips to his right, getting signals from the sideline. Logan Johnson coming in motion. The dangerous tight end for the Indians. Run up the middle there, nothing doing. Nice job by the Wolverines' defensive front to bring him down quickly. That'll be a gain of 1. They'll give him a yard there, so it'll be 3rd and 9 from the 31. This has been tough early in the early going for Woodland Hills this season on these 3rd and longs. They've been giving up too much yardage on these plays. So here's another opportunity for the Wolverines to get a big sack like they did last time and force the Indians to punt. Davis in the shotgun. Looking to the sideline, play clock under 10. Moves Green to his left. Fakes the give. He's going to look deep. He's got a man. Amir Brown got beat just a bit. Brown had pretty good coverage, but he got a tiny bit of separation, did Murphy, but the ball was overthrown, and good for that because he did have a chance to haul that in. He had just a tiny bit of a step on Amir Brown, and that's all he really needed there in single coverage.
Yeah, would have taken a perfect throw and was overthrown by a couple of yards, but he did have a step. Nonetheless, we have a 4th down situation coming up here for the Indians.
4th and 9 for North Hills. Back to punt, Rayshad Temple. Gets the punt away. Scoop Smith, fair catch at the 35-yard line. And that's where the Wolverines will start. So playing a bit of a field position battle here so far. Slow start for both offenses. North Hills has tried to mix things up a little bit, but the Wolverines defense has done a great job of limiting anything. While on the other side, Woodland Hills has had some success running the ball, but not enough as both drives have stalled out. And we'll see if the Wolverines try and change things up here, if they're going to stick with the ground game. You know, again, we have to mention missing Brandon Jones does take a toll on this team. Elijah Nesby, a great talented back, but he's not used to this full workload. Back in the power pistol here are the Wolverines. A little bit of a miscommunication as Nesby went right. Walter was expecting him left, and he gets taken down quickly. Loss of a couple there.
Well, it was a designed run play, which I don't believe would have gone for much anyway, but it's a loss of 1.
A nice tackle there. by Dason Towler. They say only a loss of 1 there for the Wolverines. So it'll be 2nd down and 11.
Get the single coverage nearest us.
Yeah, I can't believe the Wolverines aren't exploiting this single coverage on scoop right now. Give to Nesby up the middle. He cuts it outside to the right, gain of about 3. Still not much doing. It's hard to watch this single coverage here on the near side. Josiah Mathis is a talented player, but only a sophomore, a little bit undersized, and you can't, no knock to him, but I can't imagine that he could stay with Scoop Smith.
I'll go one step further than that. I'm pretty sure he can't.
3rd and 8 now. Woodland Hills, another 3rd and long situation. Shotgun formation for Cam Walter, an obvious passing down. They may bring the blitz again. They did it last time and it worked to perfection. This time they bring 4. Walter, nowhere to go. He's gonna tuck it and run, but he's not gonna get enough for a first down. So he gets brought down at about the 43-yard line. Place it about the 42, it looks like. So that's gonna force another 4th down for the Wolverines as Jacob Mraz will come out to punt, and just a slow start for Woodland Hills. They gotta get things right. This offensive line struggling a little bit early here. But I think it's not all the offensive line's fault. I think North Hills just knows what's coming every time, and they're loading up, and they're ready for the run, and they're doing a nice job of stopping it. Mraz back to punt, 4th and 3. False start on Woodland Hills. Just another tough start. You know, Woodland Hills had looked like a false start, but they're going to say delay a game clock. Yeah. That's what just hit the zeros. And as I was saying, another slow start for the Wolverines last week against Penn Trafford. A rough first half. You know, they turned it around and did great in the second half, completely outplayed Penn Trafford, but were unable to finish the comeback. And tonight, thank goodness for the defense, because the offense is struggling mightily. Mraz gets a snap there. Big time rush from the Indians. Forces not a great punt by Mraz. And this is going to be great starting field position as it takes an Indians bounce all the way to the Woodland Hills 48. So that's where North Hills will start, 1st and 10. And, you know, you let this team stick around. They're going to take these opportunities. Woodland Hills has had the ball 3 times, unable to do anything with it. They're trying to run the ball. It is not working. You hope that at some point the Wolverines try and spread it out, get the ball out to Scoop in space, get it to Nico Andrews, Corday Weems. You got to use you can still use Elijah Nesby, of course, get him involved in the passing game too. And when you start passing the ball a little bit more like that, it opens up the run game. A lot of people always talk about the running game opens the passing game. Well, I think the Wolverines need to do the opposite tonight. 1st and 10, ball at the Wolverines 49. Davis takes a snap, passing on 1st down. He has Johnson. Nice grab by Logan Johnson.
Major hold over here at about the 40-yard line. I mean, the tackle from North Hills did exactly that, tackled the pass rusher for Woodland Hills.
May have been Lanier Butler there who was the one who was the victim of the hold, but they're going
eye on this.
That is
Keep
Lanier
your eye
Butler.
on that, huh?
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Indians. A little bit of miscommunication there. I think that would be on the center there on a false start. You know, Logan Johnson, a big-time threat. He's a big tight end. He's caught a lot of balls this year for the Indians, and that's a mismatch in the secondary for the Wolverines, and you got to keep track of him. And I'm sure Coach Patrick Carey, as we're taking a look at him from the Indians, is loving what he's seeing so far from the Indians' defense, and some success through the air. As you know, you go for it right away. As the call will go on North Hills, as we suspected. Ball will move back to the 25-yard line. And there's also a personal foul. I think that's kind of an odd call. I think, you know, the Wolverines saw the false start, so they moved ready for play and knocked over the center. But that's not really Woodland Hills' fault. That's a false start, and then anything after that, in my opinion. However, they're going to get the Wolverines for that, so it's going to make it a 1st and 2 now.
Yeah, this is not anywhere near what we wanted to see happen here.
1st down and 2.
Ball at the 12-yard line. Looks like it's going to be a timeout for North Hills. Yeah, and kind of good thing for the Wolverines. They needed that timeout. This has been a very rough start for the Wolverines here tonight. As they jump into conference play and they just don't look like they're picking up where they left off at all from Penn Trafford.
Well, they haven't thrown the ball one time.
Yeah, they've attempted some passes, but Walter has been unable to have any time back there because I think the reason is that it's every time they've attempted to pass, it's been an obvious passing situation. North Hills has read that. They know that. They're ready for it, so they're bringing the blitz, knowing that their better chance is to get after Walter instead of trying to match up with the Wolverines in coverage with the receivers. So we're nearing the end of the first quarter here, and just a very ugly first quarter for the Wolverines, but we certainly hope they can turn it around here. The defense has to get a stop. This is a must-win game if you want to get into the playoffs. You cannot afford to lose your first conference game, but still plenty of football to play.
1st and 2.
General Contracting Services, Center Auto Body, and Academic Productions. 1st down and 2.
North Hills got a man in the corner of the end zone. Definitely overthrown, though. He had him open. That was Josiah Mathis, the intended receiver. Prince Tarrant and Isaiah Ramsey on the coverage for the Wolverines. We'll move to 2nd down and short.
Yeah, another situation where it would have had to have been a perfect throw. See right here, Woodland Hills closing in.
Love to see the Wolverines let George Hill loose. Let him get after Davis. I don't think that Connor Davis would like that at all if he sees George Hill breathing down his neck all game, but the Wolverines are deciding not to blitz Hill much tonight. He brings Logan Johnson in motion here. They're going to try and get the easy 2 yards. They fumble. The Wolverines pick up the fumble. Prince Tarrant, Johnny on the spot. Nice job. It looked like maybe Zykir Moore forced that fumble for the Wolverines, and that's exactly what they needed. Little inside handoff here for the Indians, just a counter play, and that was indeed Zykir Moore, one of the big-time leaders, a sophomore on defense for the Wolverines, and Prince Tarrant is right there to pick it up, and that's a big break. That's exactly what Woodland Hills needed.
An alert play by North Hills because there was nothing but green in front of Prince Tarrant if he was able to get around the offensive, then becoming defensive player for North Hills.
Yes, Tarrant, very speedy and shifty, and you're right, if he was able to get around that one tackler from the Indians, it could have been 6, but
we'll take this situation.
Certainly the Wolverines will take the ball, backed up near their own end zone, so you have to be careful here. Play clock running down. They get the play off. It may have been a false start because the clock did not hit zeros yet, but that's something that just can't happen. You know, you're getting the ball. They're going to call a timeout, Woodland Hills. Good thing it's a first half timeout because you can't have a situation like that where you get the ball in a turnover. You have plenty of time to get your offense out there and get ready. And, you know, these are these fundamental mistakes that the Wolverines can't be making in the 4th game of the season. You know, that's what non-conference play early on is for. Things like this are going to happen, but they're happening way too frequently already tonight in the first quarter.
And you combine that with lack of offensive production.
Only 7 seconds remain here in the first quarter. 0-0 your score here at Martorelli Stadium at North Hills High School.
Head coach Patrick Carey for the Indians. They have the gray and red with the white helmets.
First and 10, Woodland Hills. Give to Nesby. Cuts to the left, nowhere to go. He breaks a couple tackles, but a gain of about 2 there. Ball up to the 8-yard line. And that'll do it for the first quarter. So Woodland Hills, I'm shocked to see them run the offense this way right now. There's really no advantage to keeping the ball on the ground so much. You're already down your starting running back. So Elijah Nesby has to get the majority of the carries. A very talented back indeed. However, he's not used to this kind of volume in a game, and not to mention the fact that you have so many athletes right now to showcase. And you watched the second half of that game last week as Scoop Smith and Corday Weems, Zykir Moore, Amir Brown, Nico Andrews were able to take over in that second half, and Penn Trafford was holding on for dear life when the Wolverines were making that comeback. And you know, it was just you could see the athleticism from the Wolverines, but tonight Woodland Hills opting to try and keep the ball on the ground. They feel they have an advantage on the lines, but right now it's not really showing, and we hope that maybe they either make some adjustments, put the ball in the air, or their offensive line is able to get things straight. But North Hills just has a great defensive game plan right now.
They do, and how did it happen last week against Ben Trafford? A mix of passing and running and sweeps and just a variation of offense for the Wolverines, and I haven't seen much of that here in the first quarter, which has ended.
The Wolverines, I think, need to get this Indians defense off balance. Right now, it's kind of easy pickings for the Indians. They know what's coming. They're ready for it. That's why they're able to control the athletes of Woodland Hills, and you're putting a lot of pressure on this offensive line right now because, like I said, the only times the Wolverines have attempted any passes is when it's been obvious passing downs, and the Indians are just ready for it, and it's not working out in the Wolverines' favor. Second down and 8. Power pistol. Give to Nesby up the middle.
Look, I get grabbed the face mask there.
Brought down on the far side there. Armstead with the tackle for the Indians.
Another third down, Eric. Third and what, about 4?
Third and about 4. It's a long 4. Long 4 for Woodland Hills, as they do not want to have to punt from back here because anything can go wrong, as we know from last year. 3 bad punt snaps against Highlands led to that tough defeat against the Golden Rams. Play clock under 10. Power pistol for the Wolverines. 2 receivers. Fakes the give. He's looking deep. Scott Scoop, but just, oh my goodness gracious. Caught by Scoop Smith,
no
and that's what we're talking about. I mean,
right,
I don't know how you can see something like that and not realize you need to get the ball in his hands. My goodness.
And let's give some credit to Cam Walter.
Cam Walter made a fantastic throw.
It's,
the display of athleticism here is incredible, and you may sound like I'm exaggerating, but look at that over-the-shoulder catch. Again, in single coverage, no safety help over the top, and the Wolverines take advantage of it. What a beautiful passing catch by the Wolverines. Now, there's a flag on the field, but it doesn't look like anybody's moving back. I don't know where this came from. It may have been on North Hills, in fact.
Pass interference, maybe?
It could have been pass interference where the flag is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct?
They call on sportsmanlike conduct on the Wolverines. I'm not sure if Scoop maybe did something when he was running into the end zone. That may have been what he did, maybe a tad bit of showboating, but we'd have to get a replay to really see what happened. Oh. With where they threw the flag, though, that's my question, because they threw it at midfield, so I would think if they did it in the end zone, they would have, but maybe that's just where officials saw it and decided to throw the flag. Nonetheless, here's an extra point attempt. Wolverines have struggled with this so far this year, but a nice clean snap, up and good, so the Wolverines take a 7-0 lead.
What was the yardage on that pass play? Did you get it, Eric?
We're going to have to turn to our stat man, Ken Mrazek, always Mr. Trusty over there. We will see what the yardage is on that touchdown pass. But the Wolverines can take a deep breath. They get a touchdown on a 3rd and about 4 as Cam Walter goes to Scoop. .88 yards. Thank you, Ken Mrazek. Always on the spot with the stats. Now we get a second look at the replay. We can see running into the end zones with his arms out. I mean, I'm one, I don't like over celebrating, but I think that's a little ridiculous to call that. I mean, he put his arms out. I think that's a little much.
I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah, I've certainly seen worse not called, but it's one of those things. They just have to limit those because now the Wolverines are going to be kicking from much further back, and that's something you can't have. You're going to give the Indians fantastic starting field position here. So while it was a little bit harmless, you can still eliminate it if you're the Wolverines, and you can stop those things from happening because you don't want to, as we talked about, you don't want to give the Indians any more than they've already been able to achieve so far here tonight. Don't give them any advantage. Back to receive Israel Armstead for the Indians as Jacob Mraz sets the ball on the 25-yard line. Again, 15-yard penalty. Would have been kicking off from the 40, now the 25.
Just line drive it is what I do in this situation.
Morales will try and kick it as deep as he can. Nice kick.
Beautiful.
Back to about the 18. Brought in there by the Indians, Josiah Mathis. You know, bad tackling by the special teams. This has been another point of emphasis. The Wolverines need to shore up that special teams. They have struggled all year, last year, the year before. It's always a problem. The kickoff team has had issues, but they don't let them break loose, and that's the key. But a nice return there by Mathis. As you can see, breaks through several tackles of Wolverines there. At the 43, that's where the Indians will start. Great starting field position. Linaire Butler, Antonio Nash, Michon Rose. Looks like Jaden Estes up there as well at defensive front for the Wolverines. Davis in the shotgun. Fakes the give. He's got Johnson wide open and a nice block there, taking out Corday Weems. And there's going to be a flag. I hope that's a holding there because it looked like Weems was getting held, but it came a little late. I'm not sure if that's going to be a holding on the Indians. Yes, it will. And a good call there as Weems was completely taken out of the play as he was held by the receiver on the far side, which opened up Johnson a little more there. But a nice play call there. Just swing it out to your big tight end. As you can see the holding there on the sideline. So the Wolverines get a break there. But again, you have to track Logan Johnson. You got to get somebody on him and just watch him because he's a big-time offensive threat for the Indians, and they're going to use him because they know he's one of their best ball catchers on the offense.
Spotted at the 42-yard line in their own territory.
So 1st and 11 now.
After the penalty, 1st and 11.
Davis in the shotgun formation. Brings a man in motion. Here's a screen, and the Wolverines fall for it. Nice gain there as he dumps it off to Jack Martin. And you'll take that every time if you're the Indians. Gain of about 6 yards.
About 4, I think.
They spotted him short.
Short, yeah.
Ball placed at the 47. Indians watch film. They know sometimes the Wolverines can be vulnerable when it comes to that screen pass. Get it out quickly there. Nice pass to Mathis. 1st down Indians depending on the spot. Looks like they might put him a yard short at the 48. Yes, indeed. It'll be 3rd and short for the Indians, but I think Patrick Carey likes this. It gives him a little bit of freedom here on a 3rd one. You get basically 2 chances to get a yard. We'll see what the Indians, if they go for the classic, keep it safe and run it up the middle, or if they're going to do something a little bit more creative here. Takes the snap, give up the middle, and another fumble, but he jumps on it. Wow, nice play there.
Now it's decision time for North Hills.
It looked like Jack Martin again there, who the ball carrier who fumbled but was able to jump on his own fumble. And again, Zykir Moore broke in and caused the fumble. Such a playmaker for the Wolverines on defense. He's got some legs too. He can run, and we'd love to see him get involved in the offense a little bit more, whether it be at tight end or at fullback or halfback even. He's fast enough to be, but just a nice play by Zykir Moore to break that ball free. But Indians jump on it, and it's now 4th and 1. Making some changes here, but the play clock is down to 5. They better hurry. They're going to call timeout. Yeah, they think that Patrick Carey wanted a little more time to think this over, but it looked like they were a bit panicked there, and they're going to decide to take that timeout. And as we talk about conference play here, the Wolverines opening up on the road against the Indians, their first road game of the season. Play the first 3 at home at the Wolverina. But next week, they're going to jump back out of conference play and take on the Norwin Knights. And then following that, they'll go back into conference play as they hit the road again against a tough Shaler team. They popped into the Post-Gazette top 5 this week. So that will be a tough game, a Saturday afternoon game. Hit the road again for another non-conference game against the Highlands Golden Rams. And then back home for 2. Both conference games, Fox Chapel Foxes and those tough Pine Richland Rams are trying to defend their Whitby and state titles. And then on the road for another big one against Penn Hills. It's always a classic, and we hope that that has a lot of playoff implications at the end of the season for the Wolverines. Rashad Temple back to punt, but I would watch this fake. I think the Indians are ripe for a fake here. Hope the Wolverines are ready for it. Julius Green looks like he's one of the upmen on this punt. And the Wolverines jump into the neutral zone. Tough break. Free first down for the Indians. Just what you can't do here. And unless there was early movement by the Indians. I saw some movement, but I didn't think they were going to call that a false start. It looks like they are. It looked like there was movement, but I couldn't tell if it was legal. Looking at the replay, it did look like somebody along the line flinched, which caused the Wolverines to move into the neutral zone. Patrick Carey is not happy about it, but it's going to go against the Indians as they've already moved the ball back. 4th down. Big break for Woodland Hills, but and at the same time, you can't really blame them, because if they saw movement along that line, you can't blame them for all jumping at the same time. And that's kind of how you know it had to be North Hills moving, because there were several Wolverines that jumped in sync. Temple gets the punt away. It's a high one. Wolverines have to be careful here. Don't let it hit you. And they get a fantastic bounce all the way down to the 20-yard line. Just a great Indians bounce there. Temple, nice job getting that punt off for the Indians. There is a flag on the far side at around the 32. That would be a tough flag for the Wolverines, because there was really no reason to hold or do anything there, as that was a bad punt. So you kind of just have to get out of the way. But looks like the Wolverines probably will be guilty of a hold.
Yeah, I thought it was a clean block. Somebody from North Hills really got pancaked over there. It must have been a grab and tackle type situation, as the referee explains to head coach Patrick Carey. And they're going to back up the Wolverines to the 10. So 90 yards to go.
Wow. And that's a big, big penalty there, as it'll move the ball all the way back to the 10-yard line. Backed up in the shadow of their own end zone now are the Wolverines. Power pistol, Walter. Give up the middle to Nesby. Not much doing there. 2-yard gain, and it's like the Wolverines are playing this game of they only can pass the ball 10 times in the game or something right now. I hate to beat a dead horse, but man, you got to get that ball in the air. Let Walter do his thing. 2nd and 8 for the Wolverines. Ball at the 12-yard line. Bunch formation to Walter's right. Fakes the give. He's got Zykir Moore. Zykir Moore with some sure hands there. Nice gain up to about the 18-yard line, depending on the spot. That'll make it a 3rd down and about 2.
Okay, those little check down passes open things
certainly.
up a bit.
That's what you like to see, and getting a guy like Ziggy Moore involved in the offense. Like the little play action there from the offense. I like that play call, yes indeed. Brings up a 3rd and manageable here for Woodland Hills, but this is a place where you can't really go for it. So a big down here for Woody High.
Huge.
Play clock at 5. They're going to pass again. Walter looking over the middle. He's got Zykir Moore. Nice grab by Moore as he fights through 4 or 5 different Indians tacklers, still carrying them with him all the way up to the 32-yard line.
Oh, that was a laser there by Cam Walter.
Very nice throw by Walter. Stays in the pocket. He's very poised. He's patient. He has some time. Nice job by his offensive line. Dumps it off to Moore. And again, look at that as Moore just carrying Indians with him up to the 32 for a big 1st down. Love to see the Wolverines airing the ball out now. Clock approaching 6.5 minutes until the half. 7-0 Woodland Hills.
Yeah, fast-moving half of football.
Give to Nesby. Tries to fight forward. We've got to be careful when you're doing that. Protect that ball. Taken down for a gain of about 3. I'll give him an extra yard, so it'll be a gain of 4 up to the 36-yard line. This is
4 yards on first, not bad. Excuse me here.
That's right. This is a classic Woodland Hills, North Hills type matchup. They do play these low-scoring games. Defense is always involved. Turnovers are involved. Not much out of the ordinary. They have a bunch of these scores over the years that are pretty low-scoring. Power pistol for the Wolverines. At 36. Give to Nesby again. Looks like a gain of about 4 there. They'll give him forward progress up to the 40-yard line.
And speaking of scores, I'm sure you'll be able to give us some out-of-town scores when they start to kick in.
The only score I have so far, 21-0 Central Catholic on top of Mount Lebanon. That score, thanks to former Woodland Hills football player Monte Nicholson.
But not to his liking, correct?
He doesn't like when I show his nice highlight, and I won't do it. I won't say the year that it's from either. Key third down for Woodland Hills. Walter, pass. He's getting rushed quick. He's got to get it off, and he does, but it's knocked down by the Indians. So again, Woodland Hills playing it safe. Run, run, pass. Run, run, pass. Kind of, they're following that template, and it does not work out in their favor. As you know, this is a very tight game right now, and Woodland Hills, again, not really getting the ball in Scoop's hands much other than the touchdown. Nice play by North Hills to knock that ball down. It was headed right towards Zykeer Moore.
And he had the necessary yardage there by 3 or 4 yards, but a good play by the defense from North Hills to pat the ball down. And Mraz in to punt. He's standing at his 27-yard line.
Hard to see, but I think that's Mathis out there. We're pretty far, so it is hard to get an idea of numbers, especially for the Indians. Those dark red numbers on the dark gray jerseys. There's a flag. More Wolverines on the illegal procedure. 5 yards will back them up. Another pre-snap penalty.
A shame, too, because Woodland Hills have got a good bounce on that punt. It rolled inside the 30-yard line.
It always seems like the bounces never go the Wolverines' way.
They look like 9 irons into a soft green.
4th and 7 for the Wolverines as Mraz is ready to punt. Gets the snap. Gets it a low liner away, and he does get a bounce, but Mathis is going to back away, and he's going to let it go, and much to the Wolverines' liking, that'll be downed at the 32, so not the best punt in the world, but given the fact that it was a low liner, Wolverines will take that over a block. 4:56 remaining in the half. You know, as we talked about the pass between these two teams, dating back to 2010, the Wolverines have really had the better of the Indians. 8-1. Thanks to the Post-Gazette for those stats. I looked those up. The only loss the Wolverines had was back in 2010, a 7-0 loss at the Wolverine. It was kind of a bizarre back-and-forth game, much like this, that the Wolverines lost to the Indians that game. But every other one has been pretty much dominated by Woodland Hills. And, of course, I'm not counting the forfeit in 2021, COVID. Davis rushed quickly, gets it away, but nobody there for the Indians. Incomplete pass. Looking for Johnson there.
Yeah, the Wolverines came with a lot of pressure there, Eric, and it was a hurry up on the throw.
Love to see the blitz from the Wolverines. Bring Zykeer Moore off the edge. Yeah, Stephen Fulwiley off the edge as well. Gotta love to see that from the Wolverines. Make Davis uncomfortable back there. He's a first-year starter back there at quarterback. Gotta make him uncomfortable. Force those bad throws. Flag on the play. Should be a false start on the near side here by the Indians receiver. Number 13, Stephen Murphy.
Yeah, he was really looking to get into the open there.
2nd and 15 now for the Indians. Ball at the 27-yard line. Davis is going to be an empty set with 5 wide. Looks to the sideline for his signals. Play clock at 5. 4:52 remaining in the half. Gets the snap off just in time, goes for the inside slip screen. He breaks through a couple tackles. The Wolverines fumbles the ball, but out of bounds. Big break for the Indians as the ball goes out of bounds on the fumble. Ball will be placed at the 34-yard line, it looks like. 34-yard line, yes, indeed. So it'll be 3rd down and about 8 for the Indians. Wolverines, another missed tackle, just something that's been hitting them very hard this year. Their tackling has not been where it needs to be more efficient as a defense. 3rd down and 8. Wolverines don't want to jump here. Don't fall for the hard count.
Yeah, I like to see they're bringing more, though, on the pass rush here. That's something that's making it very difficult.
Definitely like to see Chris
For Davis.
Edmonds and Brian Tarrant dial up that blitz. Timeout by the Indians here. Another key third down. There have been a lot of these on both sides tonight. It's been a struggle for both offenses. Wolverines have really not been able to get any kind of rhythm going. Of course, they're up 7-0, but that's credit to a great throw and a wonderful catch by Scoop Smith for an 88-yard touchdown. But other than that, the North Hills defense has really kept the Wolverines in check. And the same on the other side. The Wolverines have had a little bit of trouble on defense, but overall they've had the better of the Indians as they've held them scoreless so far. Let me take another look at that touchdown we just talked about from Walter to Scoop. Right over the top, just a great adjustment by Scoop Smith there. Didn't even need all of the speed that he has as he was able to kind of waltz his way into the end zone. Ball at the 34-yard line. Key third down for both sides here.
Keep the pressure on.
Shotgun formation. Early movement there by the running back, but no call. He's going to go deep. He's got Mathis open, and there it is. Touchdown, Indians. Oh, he's brought down at the 2, so it'll be 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
That cannot happen.
Just beat over the top, and Wolverines don't send a blitz there, and North Hills is able to take advantage of it. As again, just like the Wolverines got caught against Central Catholic, Wolverines only send 4. They drop 7 into coverage. Pre-snap penalty here on the 1st down and goal. This could be a false start on the Indians. That would help the Wolverines back them up to the 7. No, it's going to go called on the Wolverines. Not sure what. I guess it's an encroachment on Woodland Hills. That'll move the ball up to the 1. So North Hills just has to punch this one in, and we could be tied up close to the half. Hard to see on the replay there who moved, but nonetheless, right on the edge of the goal line. Davis takes the snap himself into the end zone for 6. 7-6 now in favor of the Wolverines, but should be tied up after this extra point attempt. 4:05 remaining in the half.
Yeah, that was a brutal 3rd and long there.
Just a place that you can't get beat if you're the Wolverines. North Hills keeps the ball on the ground a little bit more than they do through the air, but they haven't been extremely efficient all season through the air, and that's one of those things you just can't let happen. You can't get beat over the top like that. Extra point is up and good for North Hills. We're tied up at 7 here, and the Wolverines are just allowing North Hills to stay in this game. The offense has been non-existent other than a beautiful pass from Walter to Smith. And North Hills getting some confidence now as they've been able to hang around all of the first half, and they get a big, huge touchdown there, set up by the long pass from Davis to Mathis. And we talk about that Wolverines defense. Up to that point, they were doing a very good job on the season. Thanks to Ken Mrazek, our stat man, able to do some math and figure out defense is giving up 362 yards a game. And, you've played some tough teams so far, have the Wolverines, Central Catholic, Gateway, and Penn Trafford, but that yardage is still too high for this defense. They have to be able to figure things out as we head into conference play. And as we talked about, you cannot manage to lose your first conference game if you're thinking about the playoffs in 5A. North Hills set to kick it away. Daniel Dalton.
Davis just just threw the ball as far as he could, and coverage was not there at all for the Wolverines.
See what North Hills does on this kick if they want to keep it away from the dangerous return man of the Wolverines. They do indeed. Short kick taken in at about the 24 by Nico Andrews again. Andrews this time nowhere to really go as compared to the last return. Pushed out of bounds at around the 33. 32-yard line looks like where they will place the ball. Woodland Hills will have it. 1st and 10. 3:54 remaining in the half.
They got to come right back here with a score.
Haven't seen much in terms of wide receiver screens or getting the ball quickly out of Cam Walter's hands outside of a couple quick passes to Zykir Moore. One was a completion, the other one knocked down by the Indians. Shotgun formation for Walter.
Woodland Hills will take over at their own 32-yard line.
Walter immediately rolling out to his right. He gets pressured quickly. Now rolling out to his left. He's got Scoop again. Beautiful catch by Scoop. Nice throw on the run by Walter, making multiple men miss as Scoop Smith as he crosses the 30, the 25, the 20, taken down as he gets just tackled at the 17-yard line. But again, here we see it. Ball goes to Scoop, and I think the fans are even wondering, how has this kid only touched the ball a couple times tonight? It's almost like he's only allowed to have 5 touches in the game, and they're just spreading them out.
You know what his average yardage per catch must be at this
50
point?
or 60 yards or something at this point. Maybe not quite that high.
Well, I'm thinking about the whole season, Eric.
Well, certainly Scoop is over 100 yards receiving tonight.
And he almost
2
takes
catches.
this all the way, doesn't he?
He almost does. Nice adjustment by Cam Walter there, though. Flag on the play. I'm not sure what this could be. The Wolverines weren't even set yet for a false start. It could be a sideline warning, just a warning, and it looks like he's talking to Coach Tarrant over there, telling him that's what it's going to be. So no yardage should be taken away from the Wolverines here. It should just be a sideline warning. But I think, they got to watch this near side here, too, because the Indians coaches are doing the exact same thing.
Trying to sort things out here. No flag.
So we wave it off. They're going over to explain it to Coach Patrick Carey. See what's going on. I think he said, hey, I saw a flag. What's going on now? Now you wave it off? I don't know. He gets the explanation. He's not happy with it. Hard for us to know exactly what was happening there, but regardless, Wolverines have a 1st and 10. Ball at the 17. This is a key opportunity. The Wolverines have to cash in. 3 minutes left in the first half. Fakes the give. Nowhere to go for Walter, and he's going to fumble it, and it's picked up by North Hills. Sometimes that can hurt when you're trying to do too much with the ball, and Walter gets rushed quickly. He had no time really to pass, and Indians get in there and knock the ball free. And this is exactly what you can't let happen. This is what North Hills needed to stay in this game. Turnovers, bad penalties, and the Wolverines are letting it happen. As you see, Walter just gets rushed immediately, just has no time, and he tries to make a play happen. I can't blame him. Instead of just going down, and Logan Johnson, the man there, jumps on the ball. North Hills has it at their own 25. Another missed opportunity for Woodland Hills. This is pretty much very similar to last week's first half, except North Hills hasn't been able to score as much. But in terms of overall performance for the Wolverines, outside of 2 big offensive plays, they really have not been on their game at all tonight. The defense has done a good job of limiting things other than the long pass play down to the 2-yard line in the eventual touchdown. However, the offense just hasn't been able to dial it up correctly. 1st down and 10. Davis passing on 1st down. He's got a few open receivers, but he's going to tuck it and run. Just no late hits here. George Hill just gives him a little shove nearing the sideline, but it's still a pretty positive gain there of 5 yards out to the 30 for Davis. And gets out of bounds, stops the clock at 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was running to his left. Not able to find anyone. Gets the ball in the left arm and gets a little love tap out of bounds. 2nd and 5.
Davis takes the snap, fakes the give. Another slip screen. This time nowhere to go for the Indians as he's tackled hard by a few Wolverines. Scoop Smith and Zykir Moore on the hit. They're going to give him a gain of 1 there with the forward progress.
Still plenty of time for the Wolverines if they can stop him here on 3rd. Force the Indians to punt.
John Hosky, the receiver, on the grab there for the Indians. 3rd down and 4. But again, another key 3rd down here. Wolverines need to get a stop. May have been a sideline warning there on the Wolverines. Patrick Carey very unhappy in the ear of the official on the near side, and he's going to get a flag himself. I think that's where it's going to come because he was yelling right in the ear of the ref there. And I don't know how this official could make a call on Woodland Hills from this far side unless he's saying, okay, I'll give it to you.
Got to be on sports.
I think it's going to be on Carey here. Yeah, it's going to go on Patrick Carey as a sideline warning for North Hills now.
Sideline warning.
You know, they were gracious there. They could have maybe given him an unsportsmanlike. He was kind of yelling in the ear of the official there relentlessly. But they're just going to give him a sideline warning. So no yardage taken away from the Indians. 3rd down and 4.
Now the Wolverines got to step up here on 3rd and 4.
Shotgun formation for the Indians. Trips to Davis's right. Only rushing 4. Rose unable to bring him down. Davis gets out. He's got an open receiver. Almost brought in by Mathis. Just not the greatest throw, but enough to get it to Mathis in his area there. And just he's unable to bring it in. And thank goodness for the Wolverines, because there's a lot of green in front of Mathis.
There was a lot of arm tackling going on there.
But yet again, the Wolverines only rushing 3, dropping 8 into coverage, and you see what happens. George Hill comes flying in after the play breaks down. Can you imagine what happens if you send George Hill right off the bat? He was sitting in no man's land, and then he said, you know what, I'm just coming in, and you see him fly in like a bullet there. If he did that from the snap, Davis probably would have been taken down for a sack. 4th down and 4. The Indians will punt it away to the Wolverines. A nice punt this time by Rayshad Temple. Scoop Smith's going to look to try and do something with it. He's going to reverse his field. He's going to get past a few Indians here. He needs a block. He gets a block that might be called for a blindside block, and it is. So Scoop's just going to run out of bounds wisely. You know, that's a tough call there. He actually turned right at the last second to kind of draw that penalty. So a smart play there by the Indians, because it wasn't a blindside block until he just turned at the last second. And that's going to get called every time. Safety is so important in high school football. And when you see a block like that, you know the refs are going to throw the flag.
Yeah, pretty obvious.
Yeah, just kind of turned there at the last second, took the hit. But again, it's something the Wolverines just have to stop. You know, Scoop has the speed that a guy like that isn't going to catch him. He's not even in the play. So there's just no reason to throw a block like that. As it looked like maybe he was trying that call. He gets up, looks totally fine. So I guess Jack Martin is all right, kind of holding his side now. He got up like he was perfectly fine and ready to play, and now he's holding his side. So he took a bit of a block there, but he'll probably be back. He looks like he's all right. So the Wolverines will be hurt by that penalty, and not much time left on the clock. 1:29. We'll see if they try and risk it and air this ball out. I say why not at this point. This has not been your half at all if you're Woodland Hills. Just a lot of mistakes. They've tried to run the ball. They haven't been able to effectively. And now you're in a position where you have a chance with 89 seconds on the clock to make something happen.
Net of about 40 yards on that penalty.
Walter takes the shotgun snap. They are going to try and pass the ball and get this out. Nice grab there on the sideline by Nico Andrews. Gain of about 12 for Woodland Hills.
Like that.
Gets up to the 38.
Good protection there by the offensive line by Woodland Hills. Gave Cam plenty of time to get that pass out to first down.
Excuse me, Jim. The Wolverines don't have to think deep every play here. You know, so effective with the ball in their hands with the run after the catch. You can go short. Gets it out to Corday Weems, but this is going to be a holding penalty on the Wolverines. Weems again tries a hurdle, just ill-advised. That should be a penalty, and it is. And you know, that's something that if you're Woodland Hills, you know you got away with one last week hurdling, and you do it again, and now the officials call the penalty, and it pretty much wipes away any chance at getting anything out of this drive. It's just, you should see that on film. You should know we can't do this anymore. We got a break last time by not getting called for it, and unfortunately, it's going to hurt the Wolverines big time and just add to this disaster of a first half.
They're going to take the holding penalty.
Certainly going to take the holding. Access from the line of scrimmage, that new rule change. It'll push the Wolverines back to the 28.
Yeah, the rule clearly states, Eric, that the man has to be on the ground to be able to.
Well, if he has a
hurdle.
knee on the ground or something, it's okay. But when you have just like your 2 feet like that on the ground, or 1 foot on the ground, if for some reason your other foot's in the air, you can't do that. And that's something you have to know if you're the Wolverines. You're going to get penalized for that. Last week it was kind of a quick play, and also when you watch the replay, the Warriors defender was kind of to the side, so I think maybe when you watch the replay, that's why the officials didn't throw that flag, because it really wasn't a safety issue. But right there, that's as plain as day, and you just can't do that. So first down and 20 now for Woodland Hills. Ball at their own 28. 59 seconds remaining. Walter rolls out to his right. Not much available. He's going to tuck it, and I'm not sure why Walter didn't just throw the ball away. Gets a couple yards, but I don't know if they're going to stop the clock here. Yeah, they do stop the clock. He was hit out, so I thought they might keep rolling it, but they're going to give Wolverines the stoppage. Although I'm not sure the Wolverines even want it right now. It feels like it's time to get to the locker room because this has just been another bad first half of football, unfortunately, for Woodland Hills. You just hope that they can come out like they did last week, very strong in the second half.
Let me get it out to scoop here, see what happens.
Out to Simeon McCoy, it looks like on the far side, but throwing all the way across your body there, you're not going to get much. As we move to third down, and the Indians might want to try and call a timeout here, but they're not going to. I'm not sure if they have any left, but hard to tell.
Yeah, that's a very dangerous throw with 30 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, if the Indians aren't going to take a timeout, they don't have any. You're better served Woodland Hills just get into the locker room. Just end this right now because it's not gone your way at all.
Not pretty.
Tough first half for the Wolverines. We're going to head to the locker room, 7-7. And, you should feel glad if you're the Wolverines only to be tied in this game because it could be worse. The defense is doing a pretty good job. They've been able to limit the Indians overall other than that one big play. But the same goes for the other side. The Wolverines offense hasn't been able to do much of anything. The Indians have done a really nice job of stopping the run game against the Wolverines, and the Wolverines haven't attempted that many passes, and when they have, Walter's either been rushed so quickly and been unable to do anything with the ball, or the couple times where he's been able to get a big pass off. One resulted in a touchdown. The other one fell short of that as Scoop was headed to the end zone, but then, of course, that drive falls short, unfortunately, due to the fumble by Cam Walter.
That's correct, Eric, and don't like to see 7-7 at half when, it could and should be a lot more than that for the Wolverines. And I just hope they get a nice talking to by the coaches and come out the way they did against Penn Trafford in the second half last week.
Yeah, the first half in terms of performance feels very similar to last week, other than the fact that now, like I said, last week it was 21-0 at the half, and Wolverines were very deflated. Tonight, you're lucky to be tied right now 7-7, but in terms of performance, the Wolverines have a chance to really turn things around like they did in the second half last week. So we'll see if they're able to do that. We're going to take a pause and let the Wolverines band take the field and perform as we get set for second half action. But a break right now as the Wolverines are tied with the North Hills Indians 7-7.
We hope you enjoy our performance. Yeah! Drum majors Liam Blaney and Gretchen Van Duzen. Is your band ready? Woodland Hills, you may take the field for your performance. Thank you for your attention this evening. We hope you enjoyed our performance.
Welcome back to Martorelli Stadium at North Hills High School as the Wolverines tied up in a tough battle with the Indians tonight, 7-7 as they open up conference play here. Tough first half for the Wolverines overall. In terms of statistics, 19 rushes for only 35 yards. That's an average of under 2 yards a carry for the Wolverines. In terms of passing, 6 of 8 for 172 yards for Cam Walter, and the majority of that went to Scoop Smith, who has 2 grabs for 139 yards. Such a threat through the air as we look at some of these Wolverines highlights from the first half. And on the North Hills side, 6 rushes for only 2 yards, so the Wolverines defense has done a great job limiting the Indians on the ground. But through the air, 7 for 13 were 114 yards, so 116 yards for the Indians, 207 yards for the Wolverines, but overall it's been a defensive battle, some turnovers, some mistakes on both sides, but Wolverines are tied. There's still a whole second half of football to play and see what they can do. And as always, thanks to Ken Mrazek, our stats man, for those big-time stats. And you know, Scoop having the big first half on those 2 catches, he's up to, thanks to Ken again for these stats, 472 yards so far on the season through the air receiving. And as we watch, you continue to see some of these stats here. That was the big play that North Hills was set up for their 1-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, Connor Davis. But again, Wolverines defense doing a pretty good job other than that one big play there that set up the touchdown. But in terms of the offense, they've struggled to set up that running game. You know, when you have 19 rushes for only 35 yards, the offensive line clearly having some problems. They're not able to efficiently block in terms of run blocking tonight. They've also struggled a little bit in pass blocking, but only 8 attempted passes by Cam Walter, and he's been sacked once or twice, I believe, and that's led to this 7-7 game as we're set to kick off here for the second half. Jacob Mraz has the ball set, and back to receive for the Indians, number 24, Josiah Mathis, as we're away. Ball all the way down to the 2-yard line. Nice kick by Jacob Mraz. Wolverines tracking Mathis very well. Brought down at the 21-yard line. So good start on special teams for the Wolverines. Defense will head out there looking to continue what they did in the first half, limiting the Indians' offense for the most part other than one big play. They really handled the Indians' offense.
They sure did, and as you said, great coverage there by the special teams. 3 or 4 Wolverines in on the tackle and starting at about the 21-yard line. Nice deep kickoff by Mraz.
Mraz only a sophomore again. He could be a big-time threat as he continues his career here at Woodland Hills. 1st and 10. Fakes the give over to the left there to Johnson. Nice play call by the Indians. Just getting it out of Davis's hands fast over to Johnson, his reliable tight end, for a nice gain of 5 on first down. 2nd down and 5 now. Ball to 26. A little bit of deception there on the fake give to Green. Nice tackle there by George Hill on Johnson.
Nice adjustment too there by Johnson.
Early movement there along the line. False start on the Indians. That'll back them up. It'll be a 2nd and 10 now. Ball placed back at the original line of scrimmage, 21-yard line.
And negates that 5-yard gain on.
And we have a sideline infraction.
Okay, so that's a interesting play. The false start was on the Indians, but then they called a sideline warning on Woodland Hills Wolverines, and they had one in the first half, so now that gets them again for 5 yards. Coach Tarrant not happy about that, or something else as we see him discussing it with the officials. Quick out there by Davis, screen pass. Nice catch there by Mathis. He breaks a tackle. He breaks a second tackle, finally brought down by a few Wolverines there, right at about midfield. Looked like Amir Brown and Prince Tarrant on the tackle, but again, getting the ball out of Davis's hands fast, and it just looked like a strange play here for the Wolverines defense. I'm not sure who that was. It was Corday Weems. He just came up. He kind of just ran into the Indians defender instead of going after Mathis. Again, quick pass out to Mathis. Plenty of room to run. Brought down. Nice tackle by Prince Tarrant there, but a nice gain by the Indians.
Yeah, looks like they can do this all the way down the field, Eric. Wolverines are not in tight coverage, giving them a big cushion.
Ball at the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 3 as Marcus Williams makes his way off the field. Give up the middle to Green. A little too much speed for Ziggy Moore to get him in the backfield, but Wolverines contain that run. Only 2 yards.
Be a little short.
But it will be a 3rd and 1. Ball at the 43 of Woodland Hills.
I would say 4-down territory nonetheless.
In a game like this, I agree. I think Carey would roll the dice, but they have a chance to just get it right here on 3rd. Fakes the give. He's rushed. Davis is able to get a pass off. It's a wobbly ball, and it's almost intercepted by Scoop Smith, and he's down. Certainly hope he's okay. He is not getting up.
Yeah, the Wolverines kind of playing defender on that, collided with one another.
Definitely not what you want to see. Scoop Smith down right now, and you never want to see any player down like that, but Scoop is, he just does not look good right now. It looked like he may have collided with somebody on the attempt at the interception there, on that wobbly pass there by Davis.
Yeah, they were each their worst enemy, as that ball was clearly to be intercepted. Big hit on Connor Davis.
Just an odd fall there by Scoop, and he's up and walking, so we'd love to see that. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked at him or something. It didn't look like that's what it was. But unfortunately, we may not be seeing Scoop on the field again tonight. We need to keep him healthy, that's for sure, and just did not look good, so we hope for the best for Scoop there as he makes his way off the field. And the Wolverines defense just has to look past it and get a big stop here on 4th down.
Certainly not be drawn offside.
Indians loaded up. Looked like that was a false start there on the Indians. And it was. It'll be 4th down and 6 now. So looks like that I would expect them to bring out the punt team. Always be aware of a fake, though, as it is a false start on the Indians.
Coach Carey, Eric, is just fuming on the sideline.
Looked like Wesley Taylor moved a little bit there as he went to pull there, one of the linemen. So Rayshad Temple back to punt now. Always be watching the fake here if you're the Wolverines, as one of the up men is Julius Green, the running back, so he's always capable of taking that short snap. Temple gets the snap. He's going to punt it away off the side of his foot. But still, the Indians get a bit of a bounce at first, then it rolls back Wolverines' way, and it'll be down there by the Indians at about the 24-yard line.
Yeah, one of the Wolverines with his back to the play there, Eric, and they got a little scary there that the ball may hit the back of.
Looked like Prince Tarrant there.
Tarrant.
From our angle, it looked like it was a lot closer than it was, but
yes,
it did land a decent bit away from Prince Tarrant, so no harm, no foul there. As the Wolverines come out now, 1st and 10 from their own 24, and it looks like they're going to be without Scoop. He's going to have to turn to somebody else to make some plays here for the Wolverines offense. They come out in the power pistol. You expect a run here. Cam Walter on the give up the middle. Hard to see who that was. I think that was Zykir Moore, though, on the run play for the Wolverines. Gets about 3 yards there.
Yeah, it was Moore off the left side.
2nd down and 7 now for the Wolverines. You know, like I said, 19 carries for 35 yards in the first half. It just wasn't working, and I know you're without Scoop right now, but you got plenty of talent in that receiving core between Amir Brown and Nico Andrews and Corday Weems. As Weems goes in motion, another power pistol, and another give up the middle. Oh, a big-time face mask there, but he keeps running through it, and he gets a 1st down anyway.
Flag on the play, and that's what it will be.
I think that was Nesby there on the run.
That looked like the more serious version.
Yes, it should be 15 yards. I wouldn't think they're going to give an incidental 5 yards here. That should be 15. And I turn Nesby's head completely around. That's a dangerous play there. Certainly no ill content there by the Indians, but you got to call it the way it is. It looked like, my goodness, Jamar Allen just got his hand up, and he grabbed onto that face mask and did not let go, and certainly didn't mean to do what he did, but you hope that Nesby's okay after a play like that. But that moves the ball all the way to the Indians' 49. So 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Great field position here. Gives to Nesby up the middle. He breaks a tackle early. Nice run. All the way down to about the 31, 30-yard line. We'll see where they put it. At the 30-yard line is where they will place it. Another 1st down run. of about 19 yards there by Elijah Nesby. The first really successful run of the night. Everything else, if it's been a successful run, it's only been a few yards here or there, little chunks. But that one, some nice vision there by Nesby.
Yeah, hang on to that ball, carrying it a little loosely there, but was able to hang on when he was brought down.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Play clock at 10. Ball on the 30. Fakes the give. And look, it's Scoop out there already. Nice grab as he fights for extra yardage. And, when you saw the injury at first, you thought there's no way he was going to come back out on that field. And he still does not look quite right as he gets up from that tackle. Again, I think you want to play it safe with him, but he's a competitor and a fighter, and he's going to want to get back on that field.
Good situation here for the Wolverines, Eric. They got 2nd down and 1. A lot of options down this close. Or just...
Well, they're going in the power pistol here, loading up the right side, and there's a false start by the Wolverines. Again, these pre-snap penalties are killers here, but it'll move it to 2nd and 6. So it wipes away that opportunity to have a chance to get creative on 2nd and 1, though it looked like the Wolverines were going to run the ball anyway, but looked like maybe Marcus Williams moved a little early there.
There's
the left guard for the Wolverines.
Yep.
Along that front, Pierce Cannon, Nasir Neal, Dom Wilson, Marcus Williams, and Antonio Nash for the Woodland Hills Wolverines offensive line. 2nd and 6. Walter in the shotgun. Fakes the give. He's going to get it out. Basically the same play there over to Scoop Smith. 1st down. Nice pass and catch there. Just keeping it simple. No reason to mix it up. You got that single coverage. They're giving Scoop some cushion. He can do that little curl route and take advantage of it. And Walter makes a nice throw. Big 1st down.
Very simple route. Just down along the sidelines. Quick turn. Ball was there. And Scoop gathered it in for a 1st down.
Wolverines enter the red zone now. Ball at the 19-yard line. 1st and 10. Three wide receivers. Give goes to Nesby on 1st down. Little stretch play out to the left. He's unable to get through the wave of Indians that come through there. 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, that play was broken right from the get-go, Eric. There was nothing available.
Very, very run-heavy offense for the Wolverines right now. The offensive line is struggling a bit tonight, and as you can see, as we said, 19 carries for 35 yards in the first half, and that's just not a stat line you want to see if you want to run the ball effectively. So expect the Wolverines to maybe mix things up here as you take a look at offensive coordinator Cam Sadler on the sideline there.
Yeah, Nesby kind of limped off the field there.
Power pistol. Fakes the give to Zykir Moore. He's going to go over the middle. He's got Scoop. Touchdown right over the middle. There again, you see it. Over the middle of the field, exploiting the North Hills secondary. You watch their previous games. Last week had that victory against Gateway, but those 2 losses to North Hills and Bethel Park, both of those South Hills teams were able to exploit the secondary of North Hills, and you wonder why Woodland Hills isn't doing it as much, and there again it works. Right over the middle to Scoop.
Well, that was
6.
a great series of play calling there and execution.
A nice balance of run and pass. The extra point is partially blocked, but it still gets through the uprights. So Woodland Hills takes the lead here with 6:20 remaining. 6:16 remaining as the clock just jumped there. We have a bad view of the scoreboard here. We're up on the 2nd tier in the press box. We kind of have to lean over to look at the scoreboard. However, 6 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Woodland Hills gets a much-needed touchdown. A very nice drive there. It was a little bit rocky there at points, but they were able to regather themselves, and Walter just makes a beautiful throw over the middle to Scoop. And you love to see that Scoop Smith is back out there. It was a scary moment there as he was down, but as I said, he is such a fighter, such a competitor, and he's a true Wolverine as he makes his way back out on the field there fast and gets 6.
Well, if you just joined us, of course, Scoop wearing 24. And if you just joined us, shame on you. You should be with us right when the broadcast begins.
That's right. Who wouldn't want to watch the Woodland Hills Football Network on a Friday night? But yeah, thank you for mentioning that again, Jim. Scoop normally wears number 1. Back to 24. That was his freshman year number. So some changes there in the roster. We saw that pregame. We saw somebody out there moving so fluidly and fast, and I'm thinking, That's Scoop. Why is he wearing 24? Well, we got a bit of an explanation that the number 1 jersey was unavailable tonight.
That's exactly what the Wolverines had to do. Stop North Hills on their series and go right down the field on their first series of the second half.
Great way to start. Yes, indeed. So the Wolverines will kick it away. Special teams looks to make a big tackle here and pin the Indians back around the 20 if they can. Kick away by Mraz. It's going to be brought in by Green at about the 6. He's a dangerous return man. And the Wolverines unable to make their tackles. They miss a couple there. And Mraz, another big tackle. Jacob Mraz again coming through for the Wolverines. That's the second time this year he's stepped up and made a tackle. You got to give him credit because the special teams, his fellow special teams members did not do their jobs. They let Green get a big return, but Mraz saves the day yet again. Just look at this. It's just so many missed tackles by the Wolverines, and Mraz steps up. Man, that takes some guts. Green had a full head of steam.
Yeah, see Mraz's head jerked back, but he really saved the Wolverines there. There's nobody beyond Mraz.
So 1st and 10 Indians, great starting field position at the 41. Davis back to pass. Quick out to Johnson on the left. George Hill and Michon Rose. And it looked like Ziggy Moore in on the tackle there, but still about 3 yards there for Johnson. All at the 44-yard line.
Go and hurry up, North Hills.
If you're North Hills, you probably want to mix that in because Wolverines have had some trouble with that this year. Of course, in the first game, week 0, Central Catholic really used that, took a big advantage in that game due to the no huddle. Nice inside handoff there. Big run there by Julius Green. Just cutting to the left, has plenty of room to run all the way up to the Wolverines 45, and that's really the first really nice, successful run for the Indians tonight. The Wolverines have done a nice job, but they really sealed off that left side, did the offensive line, and gave Green plenty of room to run. Here again, very similar play. Gets tripped up a little bit, so not nearly as successful as the last run, but still 2 yards there for Green as he's brought down by George Hill. George Hill, such a ball hawk. He's all over the place, that middle linebacker for the Wolverines. You watch him track this run the whole way, make a nice tackle there. He's just all over the field is George Hill. Such a great defensive weapon for the Wolverines. Snap goes to Green up the middle, and he's able to really make something out of nothing there. It looked like he was brought down, or he was, the initial point of contact there was a yard or 2 away from the line of scrimmage, but he fights forward for a few extra. Now it creates a 3rd and 2 in 4-down territory for the North Hills Indians. Snap again, this time Martin, he's got room to run. Another first down for the North Hills Indians all the way up to the 30, or the 26, excuse me. And, you know, the running game wasn't working at all in the first half for North Hills, but now it is, and they're sticking with it. Mixing up between Martin and Green.
Yeah, I think
first down.
Hurry up offense, too, is
bit of a hold there on the right side, and they're going to get it. So that'll back up the North Hills Indians. Pretty obvious hold there, as Martin ran along the right side there.
Yeah,
took the Wolverines out of that play.
Yeah, needed that holding there because they were readily moving down the field.
Yeah, you know, again, you mentioned Wolverines, a 3A team, voluntarily playing up to 5A. They don't have the numbers that some of these 5A teams have, so that forces them to send guys both ways. Guys like Antonio Nash, guys like Ziggy Moore, Marcus Williams, they got to play on both sides, and that can take it out of you. You can see how some of these Wolverines are a little bit gassed due to playing on both sides, and you can't blame them. So 1st down and 15 now for the Indians. A chance for the Wolverines to get a big, much-needed stop here. 3:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 14-7 Woodland Hills. Give up the middle to Green. He cuts it out to the right. Just a great run there. Wolverines just not getting off the blocks right now, and North Hills taking advantage of it. So wipe out that holding penalty because it's going to be a 2nd down and about 6 now for North Hills as they inch closer and closer to the end zone.
Yeah, clear sailing on the right side.
We're going to go with another run, and why not? Wolverines unable to bring them down all the way out to the 16-yard line. They're going to mark them just shy of that first down, so it'll be 3rd down and 1. But the way the North Hills Indians are running the ball right now, it's, they're probably going to keep it on the ground. Got 2 attempts to get a yard here. Wolverines defense just very tired right now. Give up the middle of the green, and great tackle. Getting into the backfield fast was Zykir Moore. Bringing him down and now creating a 4th down situation. That's exactly what Woodland Hills needed time and time again. Guys like Zykir Moore, George Hill stepping up, getting through that line, getting a quick tackle there. Exactly what they needed. 4th and 1. Should have been a loss of 1, I would have thought, but they mark it as no gain. Davis, he's brought down short of the first down. A huge stop by the Wolverines defense. That's an interesting call there for North Hills. You're running the ball so well with Green and Martin, and then you turn to Davis to take that quarterback keeper, and he's just unable to get that 1 yard. And it looked like it was going to come into play, the fact that they spotted that ball where they did, but Andre Smith doing a great job getting into the backfield there. Such a big-time linebacker for the Wolverines. And in the absence of Brandon Jones, he needs to step up even more, and he has tonight for Woodland Hills. Just a great tackle by Andre Smith, the senior.
2 fantastic plays by the Wolverine defense.
It's exactly old-fashioned Wolverine defense there. You can almost see Juan Price or Mike Caprera clapping in the background. Cam Walter, fake give, and he's got nowhere to go. He's going to throw the ball away, and that's going to be that's going to be an intentional grounding. They didn't call the first one. And, Walter just has to be smarter there. You just take the sack, go down. That's a play there. He's trying to make a play, but he knows he's throwing the ball away, and you have to know that's intentional grounding. So, unfortunately, that's going to set the Wolverines back big time and a loss of down.
Yes, it does. Lose the down, 2nd down, and
Well, it looks like North Hills declined it. Interesting.
They did?
It could be incorrect on the loss of down that I said. Maybe in high school
I thought it was 2.
I don't know why Kerry would decline it, though, if there was a loss of down.
That's true.
Nonetheless, 2nd down and 10. So the penalty does not end up hurting the Wolverines.
Yes, we're caught in our NFL college mode.
Wolverines in the pistol formation. Walter, give up the middle. Looks like Zykir Moore on the run there. Nice run by Moore. He's such a tough runner, and like we said, he has to go both ways, and you got to know he feels it on Saturday mornings with how big of a contributor he is to this Wolverines team. Nice run by Moore. So 3rd down and 2 for Woodland Hills. This is a big 3rd down here as we approach 1.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Wolverines have to have a 1st down here. Keep this ball and let the defense, those who aren't on the field on offense right now, still be able to catch their breath. Pistol formation. Give up the middle. Not much room to run, but he's able to get just enough for a 1st down for Woodland Hills. A big-time 1st down.
That was.
Ball up to the 30-yard line. And that's not only a big 1st down just because you hold the ball, but for confidence. This offensive line needed that. They needed something, a big play like that, where they were able to open just enough of a hole for Wolverines and Elijah Nesby to get that 1st down. So big key 1st down there.
Yeah, let's keep the defense on their heels.
1 minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. Power pistol. Give to Zykir Moore. Nothing doing that time. Now I think it might be time to go back to the air. They've had some success running the ball so far in this drive, but I think the Wolverines have to get that ball back in the air. They have to exploit those mismatches with these receivers and defensive backs. They have a size advantage. They have a speed advantage, talent, athleticism. You got to take advantage of it right now.
Screen pass might not be a bad idea here as well.
Have not seen, I don't believe we've seen a screen pass tonight. There may have been one wide receiver screen, but no slip screens or any bubble screens tonight. Fakes the give. Now there we go. A little wide receiver screen out to Scoop Smith. He's going to reverse his field. He's got some room to run. He cuts up field at the 35, the 40, and taken out of bounds right at around the 40, 44-yard line. That's where they will place the ball, and that's what a
Dynamic.
guy like that can do. You know, he gets the ball complete opposite side of the field. His speed, he reverses field and gets a first down. Not only does he gain some yardage, but he gets a first down.
He looked like Lafayette Pitts on that one,
Old-fashioned Wolverines running
Yes.
Lafayette Pitts or Miles Sanders.
Miles.
You make your pick. Marcel Farish, any one of them could have done the very similar thing. But Scoop, he is now the current Wolverine superstar. And he showed it right there. Big first down for Woodland Hills. Ball at the 44-yard line as we approach the end of the third quarter. Give up the middle to Zykeer Moore. He's got some running room, but the Indians shut that down quickly. But some forward progress there. It'll give Zykeer Moore about a 4-yard gain here as we close the book on the third quarter. We head to the fourth quarter. 14-7 right now your score in favor of the Wolverines. They've been playing better in this second half. They've been able to limit the mistakes overall. They got a big touchdown on their first drive. They've been able to run the ball a little bit more effectively. They put the ball in the air a little bit more, and you'd like to maybe see them take advantage of that just a tad bit more and get their athletes out in space. But they've done enough right now to regain the lead and head into the fourth quarter at that score of 14-7. As we take a look, as we talked about, conference play starts tonight for the Wolverines. Penn Hills had a big conference game last week against the Pine Richland Rams, and they took that one over Pine Richland on the road, so they sit atop the conference right now. Shaler right behind them, even though they have not played a conference game yet, at 3-0. Woodland Hills and North Hills right there at 1-2, the teams in the conference. And Fox Chapel above right now, Pine Richland, even though they're 0-3, because Pine Richland has lost a conference game, the only team right now who's lost a conference game. But I'm sure that will not stay there for very long, as Pine Richland will work their way up the Northeast Conference standings, assuredly. And a surprising score that I got a little bit earlier at the half. Penn Hills losing to Moon 7-0 at halftime. You know, we don't know if there are any injuries there, if Julian Duggar is not playing or Amir Key is out or what's going on, but that's a very surprising score. Of course, it's non-conference, so it wouldn't hurt them come playoff time, but still surprising to see Penn Hills down to Moon at the half. Second down. Give to Moore. He's got some room over the left side. Nice run by Zykeer Moore. Depending on the spot, it could be a first down. They're going to put it right at the 46, and that's where the first down marker is, so they will move the sticks. Yes, indeed. Nice run by Zykeer Moore. So it'll be a first down, Woodland Hills at the 46-yard line. And the offensive line, as we said, they got some confidence on that third and short run, and they're starting to block a little bit better now. They're doing a nice job of controlling Jamar Allen and Jacob Messina. Jacob Messina, one of the big-time contributors for the North Hills Indians, a senior, 6'4", 265. He's tough to handle.
And easy to spot.
Yes, indeed. First and 10, Woodland Hills. Give to Zykeer Moore, up the middle. Nice run there. Up to about the 41. Gain of 5.
About 5-yard gain.
So ball now placed at the 41-yard line. Second down and 5 for Woodland Hills. You know, they're sticking with this running game now. They're able to get some nice chunks, so you can't blame them. But now's the time where you can run, and just pop one to Scoop deep potentially, because he's still got that single coverage. And you see his safety kind of hovering over, waiting there to help, but I still think Scoop would be able to break free. They get it to Scoop. Just a short little pass over to the sideline there. Not much doing, but I think depending on the spot, it might be a first down.
Yeah, I think he's got it.
They're going to mark him. They're going to mark him short.
I'll bring out the sticks.
Oh, no, now they're going to call it first down. It was interesting. They were waiting, and then they say, come on, first down. So nice pass and catch there. That loose coverage on the sideline there with Mathis against Scoop, and Walter takes advantage of it, gets it out there fast for a first down. Ball at the 36-yard line. Another key drive for Woodland Hills. 10 and a half minutes left in this game. If you can get this ball in, that'll do a lot for your confidence. Give to Zykeer Moore. He's got a hole, and he hits it. Nice run by Zykeer Moore. Hit by several Indians there as he's heading down to the ground, but man, is he tough to handle. And as he wears that number 7, he looks more and more like former Woodland Hills great Joel Shaw. Carried the ball with Miles Sanders for all those years, did such a great job out of the backfield, and Zykeer Moore doing his greatest Joel Shaw impression there, just running with so much strength and great vision to hit that hole and hit it fast.
Same running style as Joel.
10 minutes left in this game. Woodland Hills moving the ball well right now. Ball at the 22. Zykeer Moore, another strong run. Up to about the 17, depending on the ball placement. That's where they will place the ball. Ball at the 27. 2nd and 5 now for Woodland Hills inside the red zone.
Got some North Hills defenders now kind of standing around, and let's just keep pushing forward.
This is where you wish Woodland Hills had a no-huddle offense that they could really utilize, because they've got North Hills tired right now, and if they were moving the ball fast, you'd think the running game might work even more efficiently than it is, but that's something maybe we'll see mixed in later on in the season.
5 on the play clock.
Yeah, they need to get this snap off here. They get it off just in time. Give goes to Corday Weems, and it's going to be a touchdown, but there is a flag. There is a holding call. And Woodland Hills will be hurt by that one, because that's going to really back them up now. It's going to make it 2nd and about 15 after that holding call. You hate to see that, because otherwise it was – the offensive line did a great job of opening up that hole and couldn't see where the hold was, but it was thrown pretty fast, so it must have been fairly blatant.
We can take a look at it maybe.
Like Coach Maurice Walker talking to Corday Weems there. Look, maybe like it was Nasir Neal on Jamar Allen. It was so fast, but I'm not sure if that was the call or where it was. But Woodland Hills still has the ball, 2nd and 15 now. After the big touchdown run by Corday Weems, that's wiped off the board. Woodland Hills has often been a victim of that over the years. But they have to shake it off and realize they're still running the ball and moving the ball well downfield right now. 2nd down and 15. Fake. Give out to Scoop. He's got to beat 2 men. He gets it to the sideline fast, and geez, that should have probably been a horse collar tackle.
Yes,
Anything up by the nameplate is now a horse collar tackle, but they're going to say no, and he must not have even got up by the nameplate. Looked like he did, but guess he didn't, so no call. Scoop brought down fast there. Nice play by the North Hills Indians defense.
3rd down and 12.
It looked like it was from
yes,
there.
I think so.
I guess I'm wrong. No horse collar tackle there. The ref had a great view of it, so potentially he saw something that we did not. But unfortunately, ball is at the 24-yard line, 3rd down. Play clock is down to 5. Cam Walter needs to get this off. You don't want to burn a timeout at this point. And they do, and that's just something that really is killing the Wolverines right now. A much-needed timeout in the second half, and they have to burn it there on a 3rd down and 12. You know, you almost just think maybe just take the 5 yards. You know, you're going to need 2 plays probably to get this 1st down anyway. So you probably just say, okay, we'll take a 3rd and 17. We'll see what we can get and then move. But instead, they make the call to use a timeout, and it's a timeout that they may really need. And we saw that happen last week. They burned a timeout in the second half, and then they had to try that spike attempt, which really obviously they fumbled and ended up losing the game. So we take a second look at this play. It looked like his arm got up into the horse collar of Scoop, and it looks pretty. Yep,
oh my goodness.
100% is a horse collar tackle. As we said, it's anything up at the nameplate, and great job by our replay crew.
I don't know what the officials looking
and
at
our video
there.
camera operators.
He's 3 feet away from the player.
Indeed, he's looking right at it. That one hurts for the Wolverines, because that would have really helped them. But you have to look past that and move on. Again, great camera operation tonight. Joe Slick, Jason Rickey, Cam Akins, and replay by Jeff Dodson. Of course, our director and producer, Larry George. Walter takes a snap, rolls out to his right immediately. He's got nobody there at first, but he's able to find Amir Brown for a nice chunk of yardage, so it'll be 4th down. They're going to keep the clock running, too, as he was tackled inbounds and taken out of bounds on the tackle.
It's a little out of Miraz's range, or you're going to pin them back if you don't make it. I don't know.
And the Wolverines here now are interesting on the play clock there. I'm not sure why it went to 25. It looked like, you know, a continuous play should have gone to 40, but it goes to 25, and now the Wolverines have to hurry. I mean, they only have 10 seconds on the play clock. So I don't know what's going on here. And again, that was a play clock thing right there. I don't know what happened.
It should have been.
Yeah, this again, I don't know what happened there. It may have gone to 40, and I may have looked up just when it went to 25, but on a play like that, the play clock should go to 40 as he's tackled, but did it go to 25? I don't know. but nonetheless, Wolverines unable to get the playoff yet again, have to burn a timeout.
If it was 40, that was the fastest 15 seconds I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, when I looked up, I thought I saw 25 just on the clock.
Okay.
And then it started, but I believe on a play like that, it just has to go back to 40 when he's tackled out of bounds. Nonetheless, Wolverines burn a timeout on a key 4th down, but as we talked about Penn Hills before, in a battle with Moon, we look to the rankings. They sit atop the Post-Gazette 5A rankings right now at 3-0, 1-0 in conference. Peters Township right behind them at number 2 and taking a beating on South Fayette right now, and up 21-0 on South Fayette is Peters Township, so they look to move to 4-0. Upper St. Clair sitting in the 3 spot at 3-0. Shaler right behind them, a big up-and-coming team with Keegan Smetanka at quarterback at 3-0 as well at number 4. And number 5, the Pine Richland Rams. So a big 4th down play right now for Woodland Hills. Ball at the 16. They need this. Shovel pass to Zyke Moore. He's got room to run, and he breaks a tackle. He's able to get the first down, knocking over a North Hills Indian as he's off balance.
Got a Wolverine down.
Looks like Dom Wilson is down on the field at about the 15, but a big run by Dom Wilson. Dom Wilson is down on the field. A big run by Zyke Moore, and actually probably will go down as a pass as it was a shovel pass. But you hate to see Dom Wilson down right there. Such a hard worker. Worked so hard all off season in his training, strength training and his agility training, did Dom Wilson, and now down on the field. And you hope for the best right now, as he does not look very good, as he looks to be in some pain. But we'll hope for the best for Mr. Dom Wilson. As we look again at this play, this little shovel pass here inside to Zyke Moore.
Great
Just
call.
a nice play call by Cam Sadler. Zyke Moore, such a strong runner, breaking out of the tackle there, and then just knocking over a North Hills Indian there. I think that was Julius Green who he knocked over. Just such a strong runner on the little shovel pass there. And that's the play that the first time they ran it worked very well to Zyke Moore. They ran it again to George Hill on the 2-point conversion attempt against Penn Trafford, and unfortunately it did not work, as George Hill was unable to bring it in on that. But right there, Zyke Moore does a nice job of bringing in the shovel pass, creating a 1st and goal for Woodland Hills.
They can't afford to lose Dom Wilson.
And Dom Wilson, such a key contributor to that offensive line. And
good.
he gets up, and hopefully he's all right. He's walking completely under his own power. Looks a little bit shaky right now, but again, Dom Wilson, just such an unsung hero for the Wolverines. Played a lot last year, now the starting center, and you know how important the center is, and you just hope that there's no problems now that you're going to move to backup center Marcus Williams, who is already starting on the offensive line. So now he's going to have to shift over to center, and you don't know what that's going to do for who's going to replace Marcus Williams. It's going to be a fresh body in there. It looks like it's probably Jaden Estes right now. Yes, Jaden Estes will move into that right guard spot where Marcus Williams was, and Williams will shift into center as key 1st and goal here for the Wolverines. Nobody's there, possibly a miscommunication. They're going to get it out to Scoop. He's still got it, and it's a touchdown. Number 3 for Scoop. Wow. North Hills thought he dropped it. They thought he was short of the goal line, and neither is true. It's a touchdown for Scoop Smith. If we have a replay of that, man.
What a bullet by Cam Walter there.
A fantastic throw. It looked like possibly some miscommunication there right off the bat, but Scoop makes such a nice, he stops on a dime, turns around, and Cam is waiting for him, and he brings it in. And as you said, Jim, just a bullet of a throw as the North Hills Indian, John L. Edison, was closing fast there, but just a great throw by Cam Walter on the extra point attempt here with 7:27 remaining in the game. That is up and good. So Woodland Hills moves to a 14-point lead here, 21-7. 7:26 remaining in this game, and as we know, anything can happen in high school football, so Woodland Hills can't get comfortable right now, but they've done a good job in this second half of moving the ball efficiently, and the defense has stepped up and done a great job as well.
Roz line drives it through there. And, you know, Walter was actually backpedaling there, so for him to get that much on that throw to the sideline, it's pretty incredible. As the sophomore team of Walter and Scoop Smith team up for yet another score.
3rd time tonight. It's just such a lethal connection, Walter to Scoop. It happens yet again tonight, and in a big way, as Woodland Hills takes that 21-7 lead with 7:26 remaining in the game. 7:23 actually, sorry. Just some communication issues with North Hills here tonight between our our score bug in their scoreboard.
Yeah.
We apologize for that.
3 and out would be, well, first of all, let's just keep them contained here on this kickoff. We have done a fairly good job of that this evening, but there have been a couple that were a little on the shaky side by the special teams.
So Mraz has it set at the 40, ready to kick it away. Woodland Hills up 21-7 with 7:26 remaining. They've done exactly what they've had to do in this second half. Nice low liner there from Mraz. Nice job this time by the special teams. You know, it was a shorter kick, so you expect that they're going to have decent starting field position, but they do a good job containing it there.
Martin on
As
the
that's
return.
what is Jacob Martin on the return there, or Jack Martin, excuse me. He will bring that up to the 33-yard line. That's where the North Hills Indians will start. Big moment here for the Woodland Hills defense. You know, North Hills has enough time, certainly, in a 2-possession game here to make a comeback. So if you're Woodland Hills, you have to do everything you can on defense to contain them and make sure they are not able to get down the field. You know they're probably going to pass here, even though they've had success running the ball. Wide open there along the sideline. No. It's going to be a late hit on Woodland Hills. Oh, they're going to be gracious to the Wolverines.
No, that's
As John L. Edison on the grab for the Indians was kind of dragged down out of bounds, and I think the referees gave the Wolverines the benefit of the doubt there because Nico Andrews was just going down with them inbounds and then just kind of finished the tackle. His momentum did. Davis is going to look deep. He's got a man. It's thrown a little bit short, but it's caught, and that's going to be a touchdown for North Hills, just like that. Number 13, Stephen Murphy, makes the adjustment and brings it in, and you know, it's just some confusion there in the secondary for Woodland Hills, and it kind of just fell right in the perfect spot. As the Indians answer fast, and this one is far from over.
well, again, Eric, they're rushing 3 there. You don't rush 3 in that situation. You got to put pressure on the quarterback. And
Woodland Hills erring on the side of caution, trying to drop guys into coverage, but it ends up not mattering.
seems like dropping guys into coverage never seems to work.
Yeah, it looked like Amir Brown, if that was Amir Brown, just didn't time his jump right, just off by a second there, and causes the pass to be completed, and a touchdown for Murphy. Davis to Murphy, and we have tons of time left in this one here as Wolverines jump offside, but it's declined, so they will reattempt the extra point. It's a pre-snap penalty, so didn't matter that the Wolverines blocked it. Up for the Indians and good. So just like that, the Wolverines try and catch their breath, and in less than 30 seconds, the Indians answer 21-14 now, and they've given them life again, and that's something that the Wolverines usually do well in terms of late in games with the defense, but they just get caught there along the sideline. A great throw by Davis, and an even better adjustment by Stephen Murphy to make that grab. And now if you're Woodland Hills, now you know there's a lot of time left in this game, so they ran the ball effectively on that last drive, but you got to think maybe you try and put the dagger in the Indians here, and you try and put the ball back in the air. Even though it is risky, it might be time to use your playmakers, because if you unfortunately give this ball back to the Indians fast, could be trouble.
We need a good run back here. That will go a long way.
Good run back would be great, but the Indians have been doing a great job on kickoffs of keeping it away from the great return men of Woodland Hills, as Woodland Hills trying to adjust on the kickoff here. As you see, they're bringing the return men up, expecting that short kick yet again.
What's happened to the lateral on the kickoff when you have to have like Smith back there?
Short kick to the right side. It's going to go to Amir Brown, another one of the dangerous return men, but the way he's carrying that ball just took too much time to try and make an adjustment there, and he gets brought down fast, and that's exactly how the Indians wanted that to play out. So Woodland Hills will start first down at their own 22. And just when you think that everything's going the Wolverines' way, they give up a big, long touchdown by the Indians. And Now you're in a dogfight yet again, 21-14. Ball at their own 22-yard line. 1st and 10, Woodland Hills. If they can control this line of scrimmage, you expect them to run the ball. So they have to get control of the line of scrimmage. It's wonderful to see Dom Wilson back out there shaking off that injury. You need some tough runs by Zykir Moore here now, assuming they don't air the ball out. Give up the middle to Moore. Nice run as he's able to elude a few Indians and get up to the 35 for first down, but there's a holding call on the field. Just when you think another nice run and the refs have to get involved and they call a holding there, and that wipes away the big run. So very well timed for North Hills that call came right there after a nice big first down run by Moore. And that's really going to hurt the Wolverines because not only do they have to move back, but that makes it a 1st and 20. Not really sure who the holding call was on there. It's hard to tell with all the bodies being thrown around in a play like that, but ball is at the 13-yard line now. 1st and 20. This is where the Wolverines really got to show some guts. Get a couple first downs and try and put the Indians away. 6.5 minutes remaining in this one. Power pistol for Woodland Hills. Give to Zykir Moore. He's off the right side. He's got a couple blocks. Knocks into a few Indians and still on his feet all the way to the 28-yard line. A nice first down run, and I got to look back. I see no flags on the field. Okay, good job, Woodland Hills. With that run up to the 28, nice job by Zykir Moore. About 11 yards there on the gain.
Just hang on to that football. Make first downs and
ball security, exactly, Jim, is very important in a moment like this point in the game. 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes remaining in this one.
Just don't get too crazy with trying to make a play where there isn't one.
Walter doesn't see anything available there. And, you know, he had Amir Brown breaking deep, and I thought he was going to let go of it. He decided to hold it. So it turns into just about a 1-yard gain there, but now it's a 3rd down, and I'm surprised he didn't take that risk and go over the top to Amir Brown, because Brown would have been wide open as he broke free there deep along the right side, far sideline, but Walter decides to hold it and at least make a safe play there. 3rd down, though, and you're not in 4-down territory here, so This is an enormous 3rd down with 5:42, and the other thing that did was stop the clock there, and Woodland Hills does not want to stop the clock here. And there's a pre-snap penalty. It's going to move the Wolverines back. It'll be 3rd and 9. Just shooting themselves in the foot here are the Wolverines.
See if we can pick up the offender there.
You know, clock's not even a factor here. I think right now, if you're Woodland Hills, you got to put this ball in the air. You got to be aggressive. You got to go for the first down and try and take some life out of the Indians because they have all the momentum right now after that touchdown. It was such a quick momentum swing. Wolverines could get this play off fast. They would catch the Indians with too many men on the field, but they don't. Does a nice job scooting off the field there by John L. Edison. 3rd and 9. Walter takes the shotgun snap. He's going to look deep. It's going to be overthrown.
Ooh, he's
pulled down, and the Wolverines get a nice call there, as it looks like Simeon McCoy was the receiver trying to break deep, and number 13, Stephen Murphy, I believe it's Murphy. It's hard to tell from this viewpoint.
I don't know that was catchable, but I just don't want to see a conference here among the officials. Well, nah, you got to call that. Huge break there for the Wolverines.
Wolverines needed one of those. They haven't had many breaks tonight. They played very hard all night, and they needed a break like that at a key point. After that kind of sketchy holding call, they get one back. So 1st down, Wolverines. Ball at the 38. Give up the middle. Again to Zykir Moore. Nice run of about 5 yards. It'll create a 2nd and 5. Still a ton of time in this game, though. You know, 5 minutes, 20 seconds. If you're Woodland Hills, you can't even think about the clock. You just got to keep getting first downs and get this ball downfield, and even better yet, maybe you break one. Because at this point, you can't think about the clock.
Well, at this point, I don't think they'll put the ball in the air unless it's a safe one-step drop.
You wonder if Elijah Nesby's okay, because we haven't seen him in a while either. Corday Weems on the run. as Zykeer Moore had to go off the field for a little bit, looking like he's just getting stretched. Maybe some cramps. Gain of a couple there for Weems. Another third down, now 3rd and 2. But now you're at the part of the field where you may roll the dice if it becomes a 4th and 2 or 4th and 1 situation. Another quick score update for you. Franklin Regional right now on top of Gateway, 17-16. A very close one there.
They've had their problems with injuries, has Gateway.
North Hills loading that box. Nice play by Woodland Hills. I love the play call there by Cam Sadler, offensive coordinator.
Scoop was still trying to make a little more out of that.
Nice pass and catch there from Walter to Scoop to get the first down. He had everybody at the field thinking run. The Indians were stacking up the line, expecting it, and Walter just makes a great throw under pressure to get it out to Scoop for a first down. You know, he's probably, you can see Scoop hitting him, banging the ball, probably upset that he went out of bounds, but, you know, at that point, like I said, it doesn't matter the clock right now. You can't think about that. You just need to keep getting first downs. There's over 4 minutes left. There's too much time to be thinking about that. You got to just continue to be aggressive, and the Wolverines are doing a nice job of it right now. Need a whistle here, yeah, as the Indians are trying to work their way into Weems and get the ball, but
Tell you what, they're lining up pretty close to the neutral zone.
Yeah, every time the Indians' helmets seem to be in the neutral zone. We have a bad angle, though, so maybe down on the field it's more obvious that they're not lining up in the neutral zone. But, yeah, they look like they're flirting with lining up in the neutral zone as they are eager to get into the backfield and try and stop the Wolverines. Zykeer Moore out there.
Just keep pounding more here.
To the right of Walter. 3.5 minutes left. Fakes the give. Walter, he's going to just throw this one away. And another intentional grounding. Walter needs to be smart. He's such a heady player and a smart quarterback, but he can't make those throws in the pocket. It's an obvious intentional grounding, and that's going to hurt the Wolverines. No receiver in the area. He's still in the pocket.
The official on this side threw the flag.
It could have been an illegal man downfield. That's another thing it could have been potentially.
I don't know why.
They are going to decline it, though.
Yeah.
It does look like a legal man downfield. I'm surprised they didn't say intentional grounding. I guess I'm wrong on that one, but it wasn't a legal man downfield, but North Hills declines it.
3rd and 9.
It looked like a couple offensive linemen for the Wolverines started to drift. 3rd down and 9. 3.5 minutes remaining in this one. Timeout, Woodland Hills. And probably a good timeout there by Cam Sadler and the Wolverines coaching staff there. Got to settle things down here. You know, you're at that point in the field where you could go for it on 4th down, and if you're able to get 5 or 6 here, then you're in a position where it would be better to go for it on 4th down than if you have no gain here. So it's interesting to see how the Wolverines approach this, if they want to try and get a little bit and then go for it on 4th, or if they're just going to go for it all here on 3rd down. .3:30 remaining in this game. Woodland Hills in a very tight one, 21-14. Did a great job coming out of the locker room, getting down the field, getting the 14-7 lead. Then, a little bit later, we're able to get down the field again. A beautiful throw from Walter to Smith from the front corner of the end zone for 6. Added on the extra point, made it 21-7. But then the defense just got a little bit sleepy there and gave up a very fast touchdown from North Hills, from Connor Davis to Stephen Murphy, and that really hurt the Wolverines. But the offense has done a good job here right now up to this point, and this is a key moment again on a 3rd down where there's still tons of time in this game, and we'll see how much they're able to get on 3rd and see if they can create a more manageable 4th down situation, or better yet, just get it right here on 3rd. Walter. And into the neutral zone comes North Hills. No call. I don't know what happened there. I mean, that was clear as day that North Hills jumped into the neutral zone. Sure, yes. If we have a replay of that, that'll show it.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, he was way in the neutral zone before the ball was snapped.
Watch this.
Yeah, he's in the neutral zone.
His right foot was in the neutral zone.
I don't think the angle matters there. You could tell he knew he was. Unfortunately, though, Woodland Hills will have to punt away. 4th and 9. And this is where the game really gets hairy. Tons of time on the clock for North Hills. They're going to get this ball, and Woodland Hills punt team has to do a good job of containing the return. Jacob Ross ready to get the punt snap. Pulls it in. Gets the punt away as he's heavily rushed.
Fumble.
Fumble, but he jumps
Oh.
right back on it. Bounces right back up into his chest. Ball at the 22-yard line. That's where the Indians will start their drive. 3:19 remaining in this game here at Martorelli Stadium. Now this is where the Wolverines defense really has to step up.
Well, you know what they're going to do. They're going to keep throwing a few out passes if they have a cushion on the outside, step out of bounds, and before you know it, they could be in Woodland Hills territory.
Yeah, I love to see the Wolverines cornerbacks get right up on these receivers now. They're going to have a
look at this cushion here.
Enormous cushion here on the near side. Other
My
than Nico
goodness.
Andrews is right up on his man, but looks like they're giving him a lot of space here. Flag on the play, pre-snap penalty. It's going to go against the Wolverines. So I guess they don't care about the Indians jumping into the neutral zone before, but they catch the Wolverines here. I'm not sure if they lined up offside or what, but it's going to give a free 5 yards to the Indians. Not sure what it was. I don't think they even ever made an official call.
I never saw the
Yeah,
white
he just
cap.
kind of came out and said, "Oh, no, 5 yards." Yeah, he throws the flag, but nobody comes forth and makes the call. I'm not sure who it was even. It was hard to tell. First down and 5 for the Indians. Davis takes the snap, looks out to his left.
what
Nice
I
catch
thought.
by Logan Johnson, and he fights off a Wolverines tackler as he's staying in bounds, so the clock will move. But again, they have an ample amount of time to get the ball downfield right now. Ball at the 40-yard line. 39, excuse me. They place it short of the 40. And a Wolverine is down, and that might be Zykir Moore. And this has just not been good for the Wolverines tonight in terms of injuries. They've already lost Brandon Jones.
It's more.
It is indeed Zykir Moore, and he's working out his knee. We hope we stretch here. It looks like, yeah, this looks like it's another cramp. Zykir Moore has been dealing with a lot of cramps so far this season. Hopefully we're able to work out that cramp pretty fast here as we approach 3 minutes left in this one. The big pass from Davis to Johnson gets them all the way down to the 39 now as they are going to take that cushion all day, and there's nobody really watching Johnson out of the backfield there as he's able to break free. Such an important game here. Both teams know it. Every win is at a premium in conference play. It's very difficult to make it to the playoffs in 5A. 8 of 18 teams make it. The top 2 from each conference, then 2 wildcard teams that can't come from the same conference. So especially in this Northeast Conference, it's tough. You got Penn Hills, you got Pine Richland, you got Woodland Hills, Shaler, North Hills, and Fox Chapel. Teams that are all capable of making a bit of a run. And a game like this, you'll remember late in the season, Woodland Hills was the beneficiary of a big North Hills win last year against Penn Hills. North Hills came all the way back to win that one last year, and it helped the Wolverines as Zykir Moore makes his way off the field with a little bit of a hobble, though. But Woodland Hills was able to make the playoffs after beating Penn Hills last year, thanks in big part to the North Hills Indians beating Penn Hills. First down and 10, ball at the 39. Davis looking. He's got plenty of time. He can tuck this and run. He's got tons of field in front of him, and he does that. He takes the slide all the way up to the Woodland Hills 47. North Hills moving the ball very well right now. 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. Tons of time for them to get this ball in the end zone.
First down, North Hills.
First down and 10. Quick wide receiver screen out to Mathis. Little stiff arm there. He breaks a couple tackles. Just the Wolverines not tackling efficiently. Up to the 40. Second down and 3.
Wolverines should have had this game in their pocket.
Yeah, you know what? That actually should have been a face mask there by Josiah Mathis. As he threw the stiff arm, he grabbed the face mask of Isaiah Ramsey. So missed call there. Quickly out to Edison.
That's what's going to happen.
He works his way out of bounds, stops the clock. First down, Indians.
You got to make the adjustment. You got to be up on them. Don't get worried about getting beat deep. You don't want to give up these chunks of yardage all the way down the field like this.
Yeah, playing very soft right now is the secondary, giving a lot of room to the receivers to do exactly what we talked about. Plenty of room for these receivers on the trip side. Yep, There they go, right out again. Woodland Hills is giving it to him. They're going to take it. Mathis, another stiff arm there, down to the 20. And I don't know how you don't make this change here and bring these cornerbacks up. North Hills is just taking it, everything that the Wolverines are giving them, and they're just marching this in to try and tie this game up, or they'll go for 2 and try and win it. Again, though, it looked like Matthias grabbed the face mask of Tarrant. He's getting away with that one. They run the ball now to Green. He's got room, stays on his feet all the way down to the 9 or 8. First down, North Hills, and you know, Woodland Hills just looks tired right now. They look gassed and tired and about to give up this fourth quarter 14-point lead that they had. Davis takes the snap. He's getting rushed, but he's able to break free from a few Wolverines, and he tries to throw it, and honestly, that should be an intentional grounding.
No, they're going to call a fumble.
Well, it should be intentional grounding because he tried to throw it. He made the attempt at throwing it, but they're going to call it, I guess they're going to call it a fumble, which also works in the Wolverines' favor.
That does.
Though,
yeah, we'll take that.
I think he may have even been down, so a lot was happening there. And so we look at the replay here. It didn't look like he was down, so what I was saying was that if you're not going to call it a fumble, you have to call it intentional grounding because his arm wasn't affected by the defense trying to make the throw if you're going to call it that way. But it did look like he didn't even get the throw off. So watching the replay, it looks like the correct call was made and that it was a fumble.
And we had 2 Woodland Hills players there. And, of course, North Hills falls on.
Yeah, right. Antonio Nash with the strip sack there. He was not down, and yes, the ball was coming free before he made the attempt at the throw. As you can see, it's already coming out of his hand. His arm wasn't moving forward, so the correct call was made in that it was a fumble. He also wasn't down. Nice job on the slow motion replay there by our replay crew.
Now
So the correct call was made. The Wolverines moved the Indians back, but with the way they've been moving the ball.
Can't have that catch and run on the sidelines.
Yeah, the secondary has got to get up and challenge these receivers. Don't give them that cushion, and they're doing it again. You see right here, plenty of room for one of these receivers on the right side. Davis takes the snap. He's got receivers over the middle. He's going to get sacked and brought down by the Wolverines in the backfield at the 32-yard line. Nice job closing in there as the Wolverines send some pressure. Exactly what they've needed to do. And the refs put it at the 31-yard line. I said 32, but they will spot it at the 31. Timeout by North Hills. 58 seconds remaining in this one. 3rd down and goal.
So you know they're going to take one shot into the end zone, either it be on 3rd down or on 4th.
Just hope that the Wolverines can stay disciplined and no penalties. The Norwin Knights next week will come to the Wolverina to take on our Wolverines September 22nd at 7 o'clock. Be there with the Woodland Hills Football Network as we will have all the coverage as a surprising another score. Norwin tonight pulling off a big victory, 30-23 over Plum. A lot of people talking about the Plum Mustangs as a possible playoff threat. But Norwin puts a stop to that tonight. A big win for the Knights as they're going to come in off of a very big victory. So Woodland Hills is going to have to be ready for that one. But can't even think about that if you're the Wolverines right now. They got to clamp down here on defense and get the stop and the victory. Davis takes the shotgun snap. He's got trips to his right. They all break deep. Through the hands of Mathis.
Well, now you got to go across the goal line here with deep coverage.
And I think the Wolverines just got to play it safe here. If you're on defense, no bad penalties. Just be sound.
I say rush 4 or 5. Put the pressure on them.
Yeah, I think Davis has struggled under pressure tonight. And they're going to throw a flag here. I'm not sure what the flag is going to be on.
Another sideline.
I don't know how they could call so many penalties on the Wolverines sideline right now. They're not doing anything egregious. I mean, coaches are doing exactly what the North Hills coaches are doing, and so it's going to cost the Wolverines. Wow, they're going to move the ball up 15 yards. This is home cooking here at Martorelli Stadium.
My goodness.
That is a very rough call right now. You can't make that call in this situation. Ball going to be moved all the way to the 16 to try and help North Hills score here.
Oh,
I really don't know how you can make that call here, but Woodland Hills is going to have to stay strong and beat the refs and the Indians here tonight. 4th down. And it's going to be a timeout by Patrick Riley. They, of course will give him that. Patrick Carey, excuse me. Makes the timeout call there.
Situation like that, you're going to call a sideline.
I don't know if we have any view maybe of what
15-yard
happened.
penalty.
I don't know if we have a view of what happened.
They don't.
That's a hard angle to catch there, of course. So, and why would our camera operators be worried about that? Anyway, they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, but the officials just have to get involved there. And 15 yards
sideline warning.
It's a little
and then a call for a sideline.
It's a little bit surprising to see.
Kidding us or what?
In that kind of situation, a penalty be called like that on the Wolverines sideline, but
that was awful.
They have to put it out of their minds right now to the Wolverines defense, and they have to get a stop. This is most likely the final play of the game as assistant coaches pull Brian Tarrant off the field.
Just put the
Davis,
pressure on him.
They're only going to rush 4.
Holding right there.
He's going to step up in the pocket, and he's going to have room. He's going to look in the back of the end zone. He's going to have room to run, and he's going to – there's going to be a flag. They call a touchdown. There is a flag on the field.
They were holding.
I hope they got this holding.
They were absolutely holding.
Yeah. There we go, and that's what you call a little bit of a makeup call right there.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be a personal.
I saw the hold there.
It was not a hold. It was a personal foul on North Hills, and rightfully so. I mean, after you throw that flag on Woodland Hills for the sideline warning, you know you have to do something. But this one looked to be justified on the personal foul by North Hills. Looked like a blindside block here. I think that's what they got. Jamar Allen, blindside block on Charles Harper, and that's rightfully so that they called that. They called the blindside block earlier on the Wolverines, and they call this one. And again, after a very strange 15-yard penalty on the sideline warning, the refs do a nice job of evening things out.
Can we get
and calling even though the blindside block was pretty blatant there.
Yes, it was.
Nonetheless, ball at the 30-yard line, 4th down. Wolverines have to watch that scramble from Davis. They're going to go deep. It's going to fall in the end zone. And there's a penalty on the field yet again. Unbelievable. They're going to throw a personal foul on the Wolverines now.
Oh, my goodness.
I just can't.
Oh my goodness.
They just got to get out of this game right now. The refs just doing everything they can right now to be involved in this game, and I don't understand how you can continue to make these calls.
Unbelievable.
You know, Woodland Hills obviously got the blindside block call, and I don't know if this was a roughing the passer or what, but they're going to put the ball at the 15, give North Hills yet another opportunity to score. And if you're North Hills, I don't know how you can't score at this point. You've been given so many chances. Oh, that's right. It's an automatic first down. Thank you, Ken Mrazek, for letting me remember that. A personal foul on Woodland Hills gives them another chance. 4 downs.
Trap.
Caught at the 9 by the Indians. 2nd down and 4 with just under 20 seconds remaining. Davis is going to spike it. So it'll make it a 3rd down and 4 with 16 seconds. As you know,
do we have any shot of that?
I don't know if we have anything. We're taking a look at that catch here to see if it was a catch. It's really hard to tell, but it looked like he trapped it. It looked like an incomplete pass, but I don't think the refs care. I think they're just trying to get North Hills into the end zone right now. You know, it's hard to know what happened on that roughing the passer call. We weren't looking back there. We were looking in the end zone, and the refs were looking for anything. And unfortunately, the Wolverines may have hit Davis a little late, but 3rd down here.
Holding.
They go to Johnson. He's going to work his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
They were holding. And they were holding. And they were holding.
You know, this is going to be a tough loss for the Wolverines if they do indeed lose this game because, there was some hold there. Some holding business. You know, it's just been completely aided by the refs here at the end.
It's terrible. They should be ashamed of
They're going to go for 2, and they're going to go for the victory. So here we go.
They should be ashamed of
themselves. The playoff
themselves.
lives are on the line right now for the Wolverines and the Indians.
Boy, I'll tell you.
This would be a very, very
tough
pill to swallow.
We had tonight, huh?
Very tough pill to swallow for the Wolverines, but the defense has a chance to make a stop. 2-point conversion. Davis. He's getting rushed.
Hold.
Picked off by the Wolverines! And that's going to end it, folks.
Wow. We escaped with our...
Well, the only chance that the Indians have is there are 8 seconds on the clock. I hope I didn't speak too soon. 8 seconds remaining.
Goodness.
Wolverines can't make any penalties here. Just
tell
stay
you.
sound, stay disciplined. Indians will certainly try an onside kick. And if they're able to recover it, they would probably have 3 or 4 seconds to try and throw a Hail Mary, or maybe throw a Hail Mary, get a roughing the passer, get a pass interference, and then on the next play, something like that again.
Get another sideline.
Keep moving them up. But anyway, we have to gather ourselves here as the Indians down 21-20 on the Wolverines right now. 8 seconds remaining. They will go for the onside kick to try to get this ball back.
Just secure it and take a knee.
I think it was Andre Smith on the interception. If we have a replay of that, we could pull that up. I'm not sure if we do, but it looked like it was Andre Smith. And here we do. Good job on the replay crew, getting that in instant replay there. I don't think it was Andre Smith. Now that I have another look at it. Isaiah Ramsey, number 9, with the interception for the Wolverines. As the ball was tipped, I didn't see who tipped it, but it was a nice job by the Wolverines defense there to get a big stop on the
Couldn't
two-point
you run
conversion.
that back, Eric?
And they get on the onside kick. I don't know. Nobody was there. And no clock, no time came off the clock. I'm not sure how no time came off the clock, but no time came off the clock. That's kind of incredible. But 8 seconds remaining. And North Hills gets the onside kick. Woodland Hills wasn't really being very aggressive there on the onside kick. And it was just a nice onside kick, though. You got to give credit to North Hills. They did what they had to do. But Wolverines were a little tentative there. They didn't want to jump on it.
But why is there still 8 seconds? Shouldn't the ref reset the clock?
Well, I guess they thought that, no time was going to run off since they just jumped on it. They may have 2 plays here. 8 seconds is enough for 2 plays. So North Hills, Wolverines don't have a lot of, I don't even know if they have 11 on the field. They get it out quick to Mathis, who's going to run out of bounds. 4 seconds remaining. Now you're probably at about 1 play.
Maybe.
And they may try, I don't know if they're going to try a field goal. I don't know if they have the kicker to do a 52-yarder. But no, they're going to stick with probably a Hail Mary here.
Just put the pressure on them.
They also got to guard the goal line here because remember they could try some laterals and anything crazy can happen.
They're holding.
They're going to get down there. Wobbly pass. Out of the end zone. And that, I believe, is the end. Are there any flags? I don't see any. That'll end the game finally. I think the refs are talking about what they could do here. They're over in Zykir Moore's ear saying something, I don't know what. But finally this one will be over. The refs can't, as they jog off the field, they'll make their way off as fast as they can. They did what they could. Woodland Hills was able to hold strong and get the victory here tonight. Just a crazy ending. I apologize for getting a little bit passionate here.
You have to.
In a game like this, you have to be. And I don't know. It was a very bizarre series of events in the end of the game there as the refs, first off, called a sideline warning again on Woodland Hills, I think for the 3rd time. And it didn't seem like anything egregious by the Wolverines coaches. Out on the field a little bit, but as were Patrick Carey and his coaches, the refs tend to always give a little bit of leeway to coaches at the end of the game, especially in terms of coming out of their coach's box and getting onto the field to talk to their players. Yeah. But the referees felt for whatever reason that Brian Tarrant and his staff were in violation again, and that cost the Wolverines 15 yards, which moved the ball all the way up. And then after that, the Wolverines got a nice call there on North Hills, which moved them back 15 yards. But then on the next play again, after we thought the game was over, a 15-yard penalty. We looked like roughing the passer, even though we didn't see what happened there on the Wolverines. Moves the ball up again, and then eventually that's an automatic first down. And the Indians are able to get in on that 3rd down play, I believe, from Davis to Logan Johnson. And then the onside kick, and a lot of craziness just ensued at the end of the game there. But the Wolverines were able to get the victory, 21-20. It was one of the wildest games I've seen.
Hey,
in Wolverines
we thought
history.
we had a wild one last week.
Right? Yeah. It seems
Ben
like
Trafford.
Wolverines are intent on stopping.
I can't take it anymore.
Stopping the hearts of Wolverines fans. But unlike last week, the Wolverines are able to get the victory tonight in dramatic fashion. And again, apologize for the passion there and a bit of the
We are the Woodland Hills
right.
Football
Some negative
Network.
words about the refs. However, I've never seen a series like that where they feel like they have to get involved multiple times. And I didn't see what happened on the roughing the passer, so it's certain it may have been legitimate. We don't know what happened there, and if it was legitimate, that's something that the Wolverines, they got to talk to their players. When they watch film, they got to say, we can't do this. We can't do things like that, because they're gonna face better teams than North Hills down the road. They're gonna face Pine Richland, Penn Hills, and teams like that. You can't make those mistakes and still win games, because they're always ready. And a team like North Hills tonight fought till the end,
yes.
And they were very, very close to pulling out a victory, but luckily Woodland Hills secures it, and they can move on next week. But they're going to have a tough task against Norwin. We saw Norwin put up a big victory tonight against the Plum Mustangs, and I think Woodland Hills just can't fall asleep next week. Even though it's non-conference, you have to be ready for a tough Norwin Knights team, and this was a very hard-fought game, so they're going to need a nice week of recovery and practice with Coach Brian Tarrant and the staff. But, man, you can't say enough about not giving up by the Wolverines and fighting through everything they had to fight through in this game to get a huge victory on the road to start conference play.
Yes, and credit to Pat Carey too for going for 2 there. In a conference game.
Oh, I love the gutsy call. I love the gutsy call. That was a
very, very gutsy call, and he put all his cards on the table right there.
But the Wolverines defense answered. They did a great job of stringing Davis out, and he was looking and looking, couldn't find a receiver. And then, like I said, I didn't see which Wolverine was able to tip that pass, but did a great job to get in there and deflect that ball. And then Isaiah Ramsey was able to pick it off, and which we thought it was over. And I apologize again. I said that it was over, not remembering that there are 8 seconds on the clock, because we're blocked here in the score. We're pretty far back here in the booth, so we can't see the scoreboard. And I didn't know that there was still time remaining on the clock, but 8 seconds remaining. They got the onside kick. Woodland Hills didn't want to come up and jump on it. It was a good onside kick by North Hills. Had a couple attempts there. The pass by Mathis on the sideline to get it closer, and then one final pass, I went through the back of the end zone, and Woodland Hills comes out victorious tonight. Again, a big night for Scoop Smith. 3 touchdowns from Cam Walter. That was working all night. The Wolverines tried to run the ball more tonight. It worked better in the second half. The first half, 19 carries for 35 yards was not working at all. That's under 2 yards a carry on average on the ground in the first half for the Wolverines. But they got things together in the second half, and it was mostly from the running of Zykir Moore, and the offensive line was doing a little bit better in the second half, of course, hitting their blocks. And we saw some injuries in this game. We saw a lot of craziness tonight, but the Wolverines, as we watched through the highlight reel of the game tonight, were able to come out victorious. And again, such a great effort all over the place. Cam Walter, Scoop Smith, Zykir Moore, Corday Weems, that defensive line with Mejan Rose and Antonio Nash and Jaden Estes, Nasir Neal, everybody. You can't stress enough how this was a full team effort tonight, and they needed everything from beginning to end to seal this victory and get a huge conference victory and start out 1-0 heading into next week.
And we apologize if we get a little too emotional for some of these things, but I don't know how you can just kind of take it in stride.
High school football, it can be very emotional, and when you're watching a game like this and you're having those ups and downs in terms of the penalties at the end, 15 yards, back and forth, and then automatic first down. It's just something you rarely see. And when you get a little bit excited, and again, Jim, I apologize as well if any listeners are offended by the passion and the emotion, but that's what we have to do in a game like this. And all credit to the Wolverines and Brian Tarrant and staff for getting a huge victory tonight. You love it to see it from the Wolverines. Just a strong, hard-fought win on the road, as they will get ready again for the Norwin Knights next week as they step out of conference for that game. But again, they can't fall asleep there, because Norwin will be ready coming into the Wolverina. And Woodland Hills, again, has had a lot of success against North Hills, dating back to 2010. Like I said, 8-1, if you don't count that forfeit year for COVID. Now 9-1, and probably I have watched a lot of games between these two teams over the years, but I think this one was earned the most tonight, as Woodland Hills fought through a lot of adversity and just played so strong tonight.
And a strong performance again by Cam Walter and Scoop Smith and Zykir Moore. Boy, was he a battering ram, in the second half.
Yeah, Zykir Moore, just such a strong runner, and he really showcased that tonight. And, not to take anything away from Elijah Nesby. He had a lot of carries and did a good job in the first half, but they just weren't able to get that running game gelling overall. It was nobody's fault in particular, and but the Wolverines were able to use their weapons efficiently, and on a play like that too, just such a nice throw by Cam Walter. And Scoop, his awareness to know where he's at on the field and in the end zone to make sure that he's in bounds there. And again, that deep touchdown that the Indians answered so quickly with, that was just Amir Brown just jumping a little too soon. He's such a good cover corner, and that one just got away from him just a bit. But again, so much to point to in this game and look back on as you relive the craziness that was the Wolverines' first conference victory at Martirelli Stadium. Wolverines moved to 2-2 overall, 1-0 in conference. Again, non-conference game next week, but this one is huge for the playoffs, as I wasn't able to get a final in that Penn Hills game. Not that has any meaning toward the playoffs, but actually I just saw a final score. Unbelievably, Moon beats Penn Hills 14-13. I don't know what happened there, but man, that is a major upset. The number 1 team in 5A goes down. Again, I don't know if there were any injuries, but that's a big time victory for Moon. But Woodland Hills gets the conference victory, 1-0 in conference, 2-2 overall, 21-20. Woodland Hills is victorious tonight in a crazy game, and yet again, just week to week, it's hard to take a breath if you're a Woodland Hills fan, but we're glad to see Woodland Hills get that victory tonight. And again, sorry for the passion if anybody was offended. However, that's how you have to call a game like this. It just got a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
but
I'm an old guy, Eric. I can't take anymore.
Regardless, nice to see Woodland Hills 21-20 victorious here at Martirelli Stadium, get their first conference victory. For all the staff, again, Larry George, our director and producer. On camera, we have Jason Ricky, Cam Akins, and Joe Slick. And on replay operation, Jeff Dotson. You're here with me, Jim, and couldn't be happier to be here calling all the games this season for the Woodland Hills Football Network. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Be there with us next week on the 22nd of September as the Wolverines welcome the Norwin Knights. Thank you again. Good night.